walk back to sing through the forest.
Hello, guys. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hello, highly favored. Happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day to you as well. How's everybody doing? Anyway, me, I know all of you, you have heard. You have all heard, though. We have all heard. The D-Day is upon us. Hmm? The D-Day is upon us. We await September 6th, 2023. That's a day that's going down in history as the day that will be defined when it eventually comes. We're literally living through history right now. People are going to talk about the 6th of September at some point in history. So we're gonna get started right away. I don't intend to be here long. I hope you guys are having a blast though. I hope you're enjoying your Labor Day with all the barbecues, all the mende things. Mm? Hey, and I hope it's relaxing as well. Let's get right into it.
Hello, Nigerians. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. Nigerians are all having their eyes on the judiciary. We are all praying that the judges will do the right thing and ensure they do not judge this case on the basis of technicalities, but follow the truth and the merit of the case. As I said previously, that Tinubu has positioned most of the ministers to work for him. Somebody like Wike, we know the way Wike talks. In fact, Wike was even saying that he's so certain, almost making it look as if there's no way that the judgment will not go in favor of Tinubu. Why? Because he's now been appointed by Tinubu, and in Rivers State, he worked for Tinubu, worked against Atiku, worked against his party, PDP, and worked for APC. Now they have rewarded him. So watching the interview of Wike with Arise TV, when they asked him, in case the case does not go in their favor, that means in the favor of Tinubu, what would he do? And he was making it look as if there's no way it's going to go otherwise. That means he has an inside information, or he's trying to twist the arm of the judges so that they judge the case in their favor.
Are you afraid that your party might move against you and expel you?
Who's the party?
The PDP.
Who are the PDP people?
They are the executives of the party, the neck of the party. You saw that the former vice president and the presidential candidate are meeting with governors and leaders of the party.
Please,
you don't think that those can come against you?
But let me tell you this today. We're just waiting for the presidential panel to finish. You know who actually are those who are working well for the party.
What if things change in the courtroom against the status quo as it is right now? What would you do?
What kind of changing?
I mean, the courts are going to be making decisions.
Why don't you believe that the things will be the way they are? Why don't you also have that belief?
It could go either way.
Fine. If you say so, because your position is that look for me, it will not matter. If the court said otherwise, it's a different thing. And that is not my prayer. That's not my prayer.
You see that happening?
It can be none of the possibility. I have never said. No, the God. No, I don't see that possibility. But the God has.
You're a lawyer.
The God. Listen, we have lawyers doing their work. I don't want to do their work. I believe, and I strongly believe, that the God I serve is not a sleeping God. I believe the God that has kept me today, that made me to go through all these processes, will not just come and abandon us like that, though.
You think your God supports Tinubu from now?
Supports the action we have taken, or the action we took
to support Bola Tinubu?
Yes.
But I mean, you said you are a PDP member.
Yes.
But there are reports about your name on the APC governorship campaign council in Bayelsa.
That is how to tell you how important that is.
Did you just hear what Wike said? He's saying that the God that brought them to where they are now that they have been appointed as ministers, why would they go through all that process and be abandoned? So basically what he's saying, that the status quo remains. He doesn't see any possibility of any change, no matter what the tribunal says. It's almost like preempting the tribunal because he's using God now.
You can't enroll me to anything. Whatever I would do. If I want to enter APC today, come on now, talk to my people.
One thing I cannot understand is what is PDP afraid of? Who is Wike? Has Wike become bigger than the party? He worked against the party, worked against your presidential candidate, and see you suffered such a big loss because of what he did with the G5 governors. And up till now, he's still challenging you, saying he's a member of PDP, and you are so scared. This, to me, it shows a sign of weakness. One man has held you hostage, and you are unable to suspend him or even expel him from the party. He has worked against you. He's now working for APC, working for Tinubu, and he's claiming that it's because he wants this South-South. His thing is not about South-South or North-North. It's not about where you come from. It's about whether you have what it takes to deliver Nigerians from the current pain that they are going through. I don't know what you're afraid. Go ahead and do what you need to do. Don't let one man intimidate you. The party should be bigger than any individual. But it's up to you. I can't tell you what to do. But if I was you, by now, Wike would be a thing of the past. Nigerians, don't fear any man. It is the time to take our nation back from these political thugs, these political scavengers. They have stolen enough. They're not thinking about your welfare. And that's why we must stand in defense of true democracy and in defense of our rights as citizens. As we patiently wait for the outcome of the election tribunal, we believe and we trust there will be justice. But should they do anything contrary to the will of Nigerians, we will not sit down and watch. See what is happening in many of the nations where there's coup. We don't want coup. I will be the last person to support coup. We want true democracy, and that will only happen when the will of the people is allowed to stand. When people vote for somebody, let the person that people voted for be allowed. Nobody should use money and bribe people to put him in power and govern this nation. We want justice in Nigeria. I want to say thank you for watching. I look forward to having another time with you again. But we are watching, our eyes are on the judiciary, and we trust God. With God, all things are possible. We're going to have justice in Nigeria. May God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, this is your friend.
Well, what I have to say about the prayers that some Wike said, he said he's God. We don't know the God he's serving. Everybody get their God when they serve. Whether not backyard, whether they are called God, we don't know. So he's calling on the one that he's putting his trust in. So for me, that doesn't hold water. So I'm not even bothered by that, because now them know what they serve. Whether not paper, whether not elephant they serve, we don't know. So on that note, let's move on to the next one. Welcome, Miss B. Good afternoon, ma. Happy Labor Day. Gravitas, my darling, welcome. Oh, good to see you.
Hello, Nigerians. Hello, fellow Africans. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. Nigeria, our country. Enough is enough. We can't continue like this. We know what has been happening in Africa, and that's why we've been hearing about different coup d'etats. We heard about Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and then Gabon, and all has to do with the way our so-called leaders have held the citizens hostage. They conduct sham elections where the people did not win the election, but they rigged the election, they disenfranchised people, killed people, and forced themselves there and keep eating and eating. Corruption everywhere, injustice everywhere. And if there's ever been a time that we need to stand and take our continent back, take our nations back, it is now.
We presented 18,088 blood results. Then INEC now gave us CTC of results. From there, we harvested 8,123 blood results. Some were completely blank. Some others were pictures of human beings. Some others, buildings. Some others, you have results that are not polling units, like ward results, local government collection results, and so on and so forth. That is something that should worry every Nigerian. They relied on it to declare somebody the winner of an election. How can an institution, public institution like INEC, certified blank documents and say that it certified polling unit results, certified photographs and said it certified polling unit results? They should stop taking Nigerians and Nigeria for granted. It's very unfortunate that this type of thing should be happening in the 21st century. Other countries have moved on. We are still running round and round and round and round, trying to organize election.
I called on all African brothers and sisters, as Malema has been calling, we need to unite. We need to unite. If you don't unite with Niger, if you don't unite with Gabon, if you don't unite with Nigeria in her current fight now, one day it may be you. It is time for us to unite and take our nations back. We have suffered for so many years because of colonialism. Our forefathers sold our people as slaves, and now we have a new colonialism taking place right among us. Our own so-called leaders don't have our interests. They will rig the election. They will put soever they want. In 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, the young people in millions came out to vote for change while Nigerians were sleeping. The chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, announced Tinubu as the president, and he did not win. Africa, whatever happens to Nigeria will affect you. So I call on Nigerians, I call on other Africans. This is the time to ensure that Nigeria's democracy stands, because when that happens in Nigeria, it will affect all other nations. We just received information that the Presidential Election Tribunal Court is going to be delivering their judgment on the 6th of September. We are praying that the judges will do the right thing. Don't use technicality. When you stand against the will of the people and you want to force an illegitimate government on them, don't be surprised with what will happen. Nigerians will all go out and celebrate when the stolen mandate is restored. Should they uphold that in spite of all the evidence against Tinubu, and they still want to uphold his presidency, then Nigerians, it's up to you. This is the time we should all take our nation back. Somebody may say, Dr. Haruna, why are you inciting people? I am not inciting people. I am just saying this is the time that Nigerians must take their nation back. It's our call that there should be justice. But should the law be twisted in favor of Tinubu, stand up and take your nation back. And I call on the army, I call on the police, don't allow them use you. The goal is to defend us as a nation, not to kill fellow citizens. Have you forgotten what Tinubu did at Lekki toll gate? Innocent protesters were massacred in cold blood to protect his business empire. Now is the time to take our nation back. Every Nigerian from the north, south, east, west, Muslim, Christian, men, women, everybody must join. We don't need a coup to take our nation back. We, the people, can do it. If they allow the will of the people to stand, let's all come out and celebrate and dance for days and give God Almighty the praise and the glory. This is the time to salvage this nation. This is the time to take our nation back. And I want to say, I salute you all Nigerians. Stand up and take Nigeria back. You don't have another nation to call your own nation. All lovers of Nigeria, stand in solidarity. Southern Africa, West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, Europe, America, China, wherever you are, whatever continent, want you to stand in solidarity for Nigeria. Thank you very much for watching. This is an urgent call and an urgent broadcast. It's either going to be celebration on the 6th of September or it's going to be a revolution. Nigerians, this is our time to take our nation back. Together, we can make it happen. We have God Almighty with us. He's fighting for us and He will defend us. God will protect you. Thank you for watching. Why don't you go ahead and share this video with as many people as you can. Let them know what is going on so that we all together fight to make sure that Nigeria does not go down. We believe Nigeria will rise. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in my next broadcast. And I believe very soon we're going to rejoice together. We will dance and celebrate as we see the birth of a new Nigeria. Because I believe that is possible. May God bless you and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is your friend and brother.
Yes, so welcome, everybody that's just coming in. Welcome, Gravitas. I saved myself. I did not bother. I heard on the streets that she had something to say. I didn't even bother. It's a waste of my valuable time. It's a waste of my. So I didn't even bother listening to what Odili had to say. My call is to those people that are living in London. Most of you, some of them have children, they have friends. I hope that the British people, the Nigerian British people, will do the needful. Go and mount and sit in front of her house. Let her drive her out, just like what these people did to what's his name, Paul Biya, when they went to go and scatter his birthday in France. They should do the same thing in the UK. That is what I'm expecting to see. Anybody now, see, if I hear say Pakam, say anybody from Nigeria, e dey my city, if na only me, I go there, I go dey make noise for front of their house. The only thing, the worst way they go do, they go say you are causing trespass, you are disturbing. I go explain to the people who come arrest me. I go say, see wetin dey happen. If na you, na your country, you go take am. I'm telling you, this one no peace for any one of them. The D-Day has come. 16th of, the 6th of May. Osalobua, I dey wait. That 16th of May. I never sleep since anyway. So nothing go make me sleep on the 16th. I am up on the 6th. I'll be awake. I want to see what will happen. Because it is now or never. We must take that country back from these demons. We must. I beg you. Welcome, Mama Echo. Good to have you here. Greetings. Takoma, welcome.
Yeah, I greet you. Well done.
Oh, greetings. Gingerbread. Oh, God. You are this your. You change name, Pastor. Wait, if you talk, you say people not gonna know your voice. I don't understand.
I'm not sure. I get different names.
Oh my God, very funny. But
But
welcome.
I'm happy
glad
to be
have
here.
you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
heard your submission earlier today, and I could not agree more with what you said. You know, I see this September 6th as a boogaboo. I'm not expecting anything fantabulous. What I am saying is that if Nigerians are ready, they should mount strategically in all the areas of exit and entry, because that country has expired.
It has.
Yes, it has expired because a few people who have blood and water running through their veins, who are subject to violation and living, think that they can oversee the destiny of millions of people, and we cannot continue to look at them.
No.
With everything that has played out in the few days, from the prostitute that calls herself Justice Odili to the rest of them, it's all arranged. And
Yep.
I can already foresee what they are trying to do. They are trying to ride on Nigerians the way they did on the 25th of February.
Exactly.
And if Nigerians, are not ready, I like what Dr. Haruna just said, that 6th, it's either we get justice or the revolution begins. That is the only thing I'm waiting for.
That is it. That's what I'm waiting for too. That is what I'm waiting. Me everywhere. If you know, if favor a few people, make the whole place, make everything crash. May we know say we are starting all over again. I'm telling you, this is the way. You see that man when go India, he not supposed to come back. He not supposed to fit come back. Whatever that place where they see that they tell them this clear to one, he not supposed to exist for there again. Honestly, it's not worth it. There's no point. All the people they get, whether na private jet, they get everything. People, you see as a Peter Obi campaign, the way people go full like sea of people. Now so it need to be. Because these people are drunk on power. They don't swallow many things. Their heart is inside devil freezer, deep freezer. They don't care. Una see what they do to the citizens of Congo. Una see am. That na the president come out, even threaten am outside. Maybe people for here, your own people. We cannot take it. I see somebody, and I'm happy because Nigerians are ready. I get one guy when I see for Twitter, the guy don already post him will. He say this na the number of children wey he get, because on that day he don already tell himself say na today na him dey go meet him papa. He don already talk am. He say, so people, I just want una take care of my children and my family. That's it. I kid you not. It's trending. People are tired. I've been on spaces since morning when I wake up, from one space to another for Twitter. Everybody is tired. Come and see strategies. People are, they've even formed another group set outside of Twitter. They have moved it outside. You strictly by invitation. If you don't, if they cannot, you cannot show proof, don't see proof that you are really obedient, you are not coming in. This is how serious people have taken it. It is not usual. It is not the same bullshit. We're not gonna wake up 2 a.m. come find out say these people they don't already, whatever it is, they may have consulted amongst themselves and say this is what we want to do, and they must have shared the information. But guess what? Now we the people go decide the way forward for that country. That country cannot be working for only 3 people out of millions. No, it's no way. Make the whole thing crash. Make it crash. May we start all over. May we know it's okay. We are rebuilding. We are forming. We are developing clay to build houses.
By now, I believe all the home addresses of those 5 justices supposed to be circulating everywhere. Let us know. Let Nigerians know their home address. This one is not. They're not threatening you. I'm not even begging you to deliver justice. You just want to know where you are. Nigerians are supposed to mount all the whole airports. Abuja will be the entry and exit point of Abuja. No pass more than 4.
Exactly. That airport, everywhere supposed don't shut down by now. Everywhere. Everywhere. They're supposed don't touch like all those places. I'm telling you, fact, so because now the 6th is already here. Not be now 5th we don't already enter. So some people don't already enter 5th. Now one day remain. As that man go in there, may not see, make it just become permanent refugee for where he go. Because that country not be for a group of people. It is not. It is bigger than any man. I don't care how much money where that man gets. Make the money consumer. We are tired. What person they live for? Seriously. As a Nigerian citizen, what is there? No light, no good road, no means of transportation, no food to eat. No, only you, dollar. When e never high forever. Now you are not buying a dollar. In fact, they don't dollarize them. They don't, in a way, they don't use style. They tell you say they are about to.
Oh, it has been more than 12 months we have been talking. 12 months and still counting. But now it's time for action.
Exactly.
Action. You see, in fact, someone like Wike, to God who made me, by now, they're supposed to do example. You get a few people where they go don't touch by now. We be say judiciary will understand the message.
I say all delay not supposed to come up for Nigeria. All delay not supposed. If to say, oh my God, I don't know who do also. All delay not supposed to come up. Why go announce come out? Why people go give am road to escape from? He has guests not they suffer. They want be has guests forever. The drivers want to be drivers forever. Not be road, not be person carry and reach where airport, or even if na private jet they take, not be person carry dem reach there. Omo, insiders, that woman no people suppose block and say, no madam, you are not going anywhere. You don't talk finish now, so wait for the judgment. Where you dey rush dey go? Where are you rushing to? Where are
She
you
talk
running to?
nonsense wrong comot, because that chaos wey dey say anarchy, e go start o.
No way wey dem fit avoid am. There's no way, because guess what? People don't release strategies. I even post I don't post wetin dey call am, all the airports for Nigeria. I put am for my community page. People are posting out things. Nigerians are ready. People are tired. You know how many people dey kpai every day? You know how many people dey kpai? One woman just give im pikin, give im children, carry on im children, give them water, put this thing inside, drink. All of them don kpai. Because the woman tired for life. That's where we have gotten to in Nigeria. E don reach ground. After September 6th, if nothing happen between the September 5th and 6th, that's it. I'm done. I am done with Nigeria and its politics. I'm done. I'm telling you. Not only Nigeria be the country. We need to get sense. Between September 5th and 6th, something has to be happening. Now one day, that person will still go. Your living long is not guaranteed. You live long. What was you? Wait how you can impact this life. Why people can feel you? Demonic people everywhere for Nigeria. Since they born me, I never enjoy anything for that country. I no fit talk say, oh, now this thing na Nigeria do. Now when we don't get the opportunity, listen, my people, God is with us. The real true God, though me, I don't know the God these ones are calling. The true God, the universe, the maker of all, he's with us in Nigeria right now. Believe it or not, September 6th is a date with destiny. Wetin they never see before for Nigeria, they go experience am. They never know it dey happen. There are people right now that have bought their tickets and are traveling. May they wait. Some people dey wey be say they no get anything to lose again. They've lost everything. They don't lose everything. Wetin else dey to lose? So they are willing. They've made themselves a living sacrifice because of what Nigeria has turned them into. Person go comot for school 20 years ago, still dey look for work. Please tell me. Nothing works. Look at flood. People dey live inside water. Ah, God. No. These people are demonic. They need to be there. They need something need to happen. Fifth, sixth. I need to wake up. If I sleep at all, I need to wake up every day. Maybe they say, hey, as they quench one for you, another one, as they quench that one, another one, as they quench that one. Before they run rounds, they run rounds. I want to see how many people they feel hold. DSS, they come out, they preempt. They heard about some violent protests. It made DSS shut all the way up. Boko Haram, they wetin they don't fit do. All the people, bandits, kidnappers, we don't see them coming out and say we have gone after them, we have brought them down. Now their mates, now they take down. People when they wear slippers, now they take them down their pride, their jets. What they don't fit do? All the people when they don't kidnap, what they don't fit do? They don't feel release or any one of them. I beg you. I beg. We have a date with destiny, my people. Hey, we go nowhere. Now here we dey. We are money. Are they here? I go nowhere on that day. Na so. Who will listen to Ned?
As you already know, Judgment Day is here. The appeal court just announced that the presidential election petition judgment will be delivered on Wednesday, 6th September 2023. We will make a recap of the main issues the judges will answer on Wednesday. After that, we will take a look at some conspiracies that have spread since the presiding judge adjourned the court so that they can deliberate and deliver judgment. While we are looking at the main questions and interpretations the judges will do on Judgment Day, if you live in an English-speaking country and you understand written English well enough, please comment your understanding of the following text. This section 134 of Nigeria's constitution explains the conditions that a candidate must fulfill before being declared winner in a presidential election. It says a candidate for an election to the office of president shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there being more than two candidates for the election. A, he has the highest number of votes cast at the election, and B, he has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election, each of at least 2/3 of all the states in the federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Yes, that's what it says. This subsection 2A and B. The petitioners believe that Tinubu's declaration was in violation of this section. So just to give you a hint before you write your comment, the main bone of contention is this and. They want the court to determine if it is playing a conjugative role or a disjunctive one. Yes, no need going into details because that will introduce bias before you write your comments. This issue has been overflogged in many videos that we made. The next one is the one that deals on disqualifications. This section outlines all the grounds that a presidential candidate can be disqualified. Let's just read the one that is in contention. That is subsection 1D. A person shall not be qualified for election to the office of president if A. This A is not our concern. As you can see, all of them are separated by this or. You can see this B is separated by or. So they are categorized differently. The bone of contention is D. It says, he is under a sentence of death imposed by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for any offense involving dishonesty or fraud. Then in brackets, it says by whatever name called, or for any other offense imposed on him by any court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other sentence imposed on him by such a court or tribunal. Or, let's hold it for a moment. When you look at this section, it seems that the drafters, their intention is to categorize all felonies under one section. By saying by whatever name called, it means they want to capture even future crimes. Yes, that's how they write laws. For instance, when this law was written in 1999, there was nothing like cyber crimes. No one knew what it was. By using the word whatever name called, it somehow captures cyber crimes and other crimes not known at the time it was written. When you read subsection E, you will understand that this section deals with misdemeanors. It says, within a period of less than 10 years before the date of the election to the office of president, he has been convicted and sentenced to an offense involving dishonesty, or he has been found guilty of the contravention of the code of conduct. Or this section deals with Code of Conduct Bureau. It's a special court in Nigeria that deals with the conduct of elected persons while they are in office. People that are elected to executive offices in Nigeria, someone like a president, a governor, a local government chairman, they are all required by law to fill out a form declaring their assets before taking up the office. They are also required by law to fill out a second form when they are leaving office, declaring their assets. This is to help the Code of Conduct Bureau to make comparisons and conduct investigations to know if they stole in office and trace any corrupt activities. Even Tinubu was brought to this court in 2011 because of his activities while he was in office as governor of Lagos State. They accused him of running foreign accounts, which is against the law in Nigeria. In his defense, he said that the foreign accounts he ran while he was governor was used to pay for the school fees of his kids abroad. At the end of the day, the court didn't even decide the matter based on its merits. It was dismissed based on technicality. Now, back to section 137. The reason the petitioners believe that Tinubu violated this section was because of the forfeiture he made in the United States. Because this section deals with dishonesty and fraud, and by whatever name called, it's a collective name for all felonies. So the fact that Tinubu was involved in narcotics trafficking and money laundering in the United States, he forfeited $460,000 being proceeds of narcotics trafficking to the US government in 1993. So based on this, the petitioners asked the court to disqualify him because the US Supreme Court has defined a fine as a punishment for a crime. Yes, it's one of the precedents in the United States they cited during their arguments in court. Even in Nigeria, there's a judicial precedent that supports this claim that a fine is as a result of a crime that was committed, that the government cannot wake up one day and just seize someone's property without the person committing a crime. In fact, the current Chief Justice of Nigeria was among the panel of justices that delivered that judgment. So these are the two main constitutional breaches the petitioners are hoping that the court will consider and disqualify Tinubu. There's a third one. In this one, he missed a deadline. According to the laws that govern elections in Nigeria, when a vice presidential candidate resigns before the election, the main candidate, that's the presidential candidate, is supposed to replace him within 2 weeks. And according to the law, failure to replace him within those 2 weeks, the party will now have to conduct a fresh presidential primary. Yes, that's what the law says. Tinubu failed to nominate a new vice presidential candidate within the time, and having failed the time, his party also failed to hold a presidential primary. So based on this breach, one of the petitioners is asking the court to disqualify him, that according to the law, his party did not have a candidate in the election. There's a fourth one. It's part of the long list of conditions that a candidate will breach and he will be disqualified automatically. It's about the forgery of his certificate. As we have covered in many videos, the petition has proved that the certificate he submitted is different from the one Chicago State University issued him in 1979. So while the evidence is there in court already and will be part of the judgment that they will deliver on Wednesday, Atiku is still in Chicago. He wants to substantiate the evidence by getting the admission records of the person called Bola Tinubu. He can still submit it at the Supreme Court, that's on appeal. Whether the court disqualifies him or not, he can still file the new evidence on appeal at the Supreme Court. Now, it's not finished. There's a fifth one. This one is still a constitutional matter. Why we are taking it one by one is just to make people understand the gravity and the baggages that will be insurmountable in court. This fifth one deals with dual nationality. It's not as if the Nigerian constitution abhors dual nationality. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that the law is against someone who has sworn an oath of allegiance to another country. Any person who in his own volition takes up a nationality of another country is not qualified to hold executive office in Nigeria. If someone is born in the United States, no one can determine where he is born. You cannot determine your nationality as a newborn. That's by the way. But if you went to United States or any other country as a migrant and you decide to take up their citizenship, that means you must swear an oath of allegiance. A natural born will never need to do that. You don't need to swear an oath of allegiance to your natural born country. So the petition has proved that he acquired another nationality and lied about it while filing his particulars, because there's a section where you are asked, do you hold any other nationality apart from Nigeria? You either indicate yes or indicate no. In the case of Tinubu, he said no, that he didn't have any other nationality. But the petition has proved that he lied in court. They tendered his passport that he willfully acquired by himself. Now, let's see the last one. It's not finished. This one, his vice presidential candidate violated one of the laws governing elections in Nigeria. That law says that no candidate in an election shall hold two nominations at the same time. His vice presidential candidate initially held a senatorial nomination before he was nominated by Tinubu. So the petition has proved that his vice presidential candidate did not correctly resign from his earlier senatorial nomination before taking up the new vice presidential nomination. Now to the last one, the election proper. He didn't win. Let's just cut it short. The petition has proved that the Electoral Commission wrongly declared Tinubu as winner in 2 states where they won. The evidence they used to prove this are ballot papers that the Electoral Commission brought to court themselves. When these ballots are counted and collated, it shows that the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi won in those 2 states. In fact, the evidence is there online on the IREV, the result viewing portal where the Electoral Commission posts results. The Labour Party didn't stop there. They also brought other ballot papers that the Electoral Commission gave to them. Most of them were plain papers. Some of them are blotted. board. You can't see any results on them. In order to prove that their votes were hidden in these blood copies, they tendered their own party agent copies that covers the 18,000 polling units. So the number of votes they are expected to recover when the votes are counted in these hidden units is about 2.5 million votes. These votes alone pushes the third person to the second position. Another thing the petitioners showed the court is the fact that the Electoral Commission were supposed to upload the results immediately vote counting finished at the polling unit. It was supposed to snap them with their Beavers machine and upload it to their INEC servers so that anything can happen to the ballot papers. Even the Electoral Commission did not argue about it. They only said that there was a glitch that prevented them from uploading presidential election results. Meanwhile, two other elections that were held simultaneously, the senatorial elections and the House of Reps elections, they were all uploaded successfully. So the petitioners proved to the court that it was an intentional block, that someone intentionally blocked the upload of presidential election results so as to arrive at a predetermined election result. So the fact that the Electoral Commission did not upload the presidential election results in real time on election day is in violation of the electoral law, which says that it must be uploaded in real time. And according to the electoral law, if the non-compliance is substantial, it will lead to cancellation of the results. So it's left for the judges to determine what substantial means, whether the non-upload affected the outcome of the election in a substantial manner. Commission cannot account for affected up to 30 million voters. That's going by the number of PVCs collected. Not that all of them will come out to vote on election day, but you can understand that even if 30% of them comes out to vote, that means we are talking about 10 million votes unaccounted for. Not that one candidate will receive the 10 million votes, but no matter how it is distributed, it will substantially change the outcome and the result of the election. Before we make our prediction, let's address the conspiracies. You won't blame Nigerians for their loss of confidence in the judiciary. A lot has happened in the past few days, where people who didn't contest the senatorial primary election later became winners of the said elections, which is in violation of the electoral laws in Nigeria. There's no excuse for such judgments coming from Nigerian judiciary. When judges turn the law on its head, people will lose confidence. They can no longer confidently say that black will be black in front of a judge, unlike the golden years of Nigerian judiciary, the years of Honorable Justice Oputa in the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Kayodeso of the Supreme Court, and many others. Some people claim that the judgment that the judges will deliver on Wednesday was written by some politicians who are lawyers. Is it true or not? There's simply no evidence. There are conspiracies surrounding the date they chose, that's Wednesday, because of the NLC strike that will start tomorrow and continue up till Wednesday. Without prejudice, even if the judicial workers will join NLC in the strike, the people that have a role to play in the judgment and the appeal court must be there on Judgment Day. There are also conspiracies about why the judges chose to cover the Judgment Day live so that people can watch it at home on television anywhere in the world. Some people are asking why the judges decided to do this one live when they denied Nigerians live broadcast during the hearing. Without prejudice, it means that this judgment will be a landmark. That's why they want it live. Now to our prediction. When you look at all the grounds for the disqualification of Tinubu and the annulment of the election shown in this video, you will understand that it will amount to the rewriting of the Constitution for any judge to rule otherwise. Yes, that's what it means. Despite the loss of confidence in the judiciary in recent times, you see this one, it is different. It will amount to colluding with the respondents in order to free them from all the grounds. The worst that can come out of this is an annulment of the election. A fresh election will be held. That's the worst that can come out. If they do their jobs very well, that means the rightful winner will be declared on Wednesday, September 6th. Till then, all eyes, you say the remaining.
What I heard on the streets while I was moving through the social media streets today is that the judiciary now no that they want to actually televise, that their plan is to make it look like they're televising and then something will happen. Maybe NEPA will take light or something. God. Hey, God, I beg you. If you're a lawyer in Nigeria, please just go and hide your certificate for now. Don't be telling people you're a lawyer.
Oh yeah. I
They don't.
also have this school of thought that it is possible that they are saying this to decrease the amount of people that will come to the court premises. But
Exact.
in
Or
the
no, have
meantime,
people sit at home so that they don't
yes,
come.
so that they will now do their nonsense with and be
Exactly.
able to escape.
Exactly. That's what there's that also. I'm like,
Me myself, I do not even believe that judgment is on Wednesday because Nigeria don't believe any goddamn thing that comes out from
I
them.
believe they've already given the judgment.
I believe they if you don't go record on somewhere or something, they don't.
They don't already give the judgment. I guarantee you, maybe the Labour Party lawyers don't already know. I'm telling you. Even Peter Obi they go don't know. This one wey they won't give on Wednesday, so not just formality. They go don't know already, but because they no wan instigate anything, they won't stay out of they no go talk anything until after the 6th. I'm
My
telling you.
question is that
Mhm.
Nigerian military men, they know their family, they don't get family members.
I don't know, my
They dey
brother.
suffer their family, they suffer this suffer with Nigerians they suffer, or are they
I'm sure.
exempted? Nigerian police force members, are
Mm,
they exempted from the suffering? Do they go to different markets?
Let me ask them.
Do they know that a police officer in other part of the world can be able to afford a home,
Mm,
afford more than 2 cars? Do they know that they don't owe them salary? They have the best healthcare system.
Insurance, nko, if anything
Is
happen to them.
you know? Do they know all that?
Mm,
Do they know that if you are a military personnel in other countries, if you are to even travel by air, they first ask, are you any active military? They will tell you thank you for your service. Do they know that even though when you have debts, as soon as you become a military person and you call your creditors to let them know that you are now serving, I mean they will forgive your debt and tell you say thank you for your service. Do they know all
exactly.
this? Do they know all this?
I don't know.
And they are now looking at illiterate bunch of ignorant morons that do not even go to school are parading the country, stealing the wealth of them, their children, and their great great grandchildren unborn, and they are carrying bag for them, carrying food for them in party, saying yes sir. Come on, this thing na juju be that. Na
You
juju.
not talk about where they live. You know say they live like animals. You not see the place where police dey stay and soldier. Mm,
If what we are expecting happen on Wednesday, and I know see Nigerian military do what the needful, join the people, I go not say the insurgency that is happening in Nigeria will be diversified because there will be no country to govern, there will be nobody to rule over.
exactly. Exactly.
Those mansions
Hmm.
that they have stolen money and they have built, it will be brought down.
Bodilon, Asokoro,
Body law will be turned to
Wuse,
ashes.
Wusetu, Asokoro, Maitama. Hmm. Mm, I don't know.
Get sense. The one where they run thief, where they run thief and carry and they go.
Exactly.
Let Nigerians start from the scratch.
Scratch. I'm telling you.
Damn, the man where Nigeria don't give mandate to, no be person won't come pursue you.
Hmm.
You don't want to come pursue with you don't thief. Thief carry and go. If they get sense, that's why they don't thief, make they go they chop am. But if they do the otherwise, they cannot talk too much.
I'm telling my brother. Oh, we dey here na. Me dey here. I catapult. I sit down for here. Yeah, I no get where dey go. I don tell them say make dem forget me on Wednesday. Make dem just forget say that day there's a girl called Omoye and so nothing. This full attention na dey give this matter.
Well, recently they had the BRICS summit out in South Africa. And a lot of people was paying attention to this particular summit because BRICS had allowed 6 more countries into BRICS. And the countries that were selected kind of shocked some people, but some people wasn't really shocked at all. Of course, they let in Argentina, which I say Argentina, but They allowed Argentina in. They allowed in the UAE. They allowed Saudi Arabia, which that is a very, very interesting pick there. They allowed Ethiopia to get in. They allowed Egypt to get into BRICS. And the last person they allowed to get into BRICS, and the last one was Iran. So Nigeria was one of the countries that actually applied to join BRICS, but Nigeria did not get selected. So we got one of our sisters here that's from Nigeria that is going to touch on maybe why they wasn't selected to get into BRICS. Roll.
So this one is for my fellow Nigerians. I hope you guys are watching the BRICS summit in South Africa. So they have announced 6 more countries to join BRICS by January 2024. And unfortunately, Nigeria is not part of it. Nigeria is not there because you see, Nigeria is busy with corruption, rooting their own country, stealing oil here and there. They are still busy with their criminal president and judiciaries who are, by the way, are currently taking bribes in order not to actually do their job. They're still busy basically serving their colonial master. They're still busy threatening their brothers across the border. We are being left behind. Nigeria is still under colony as we are speaking. We are not progressing, no moving forward, no moving backward, stuck with the little black man that can leave power.
I'm gonna tell you why, in my opinion, Nigeria possibly wasn't allowed into BRICS. Nigeria just had a recent election, and Nigeria had 2 people that was kind of at the front. I think the brother's name was Peter Obi, and I kind of was watching this brother. I listened to some of this brother was saying on the Twitter Spaces as well, or I guess X Spaces now. And a lot of people was really, liking this brother. A lot of young people in Nigeria came out to vote in this election, and they didn't get the guy that they mostly was liking like that. They got the current guy now, President Tinubu, you know I'm saying his name correctly? And I say, well, why, where this guy come from and why him? But I knew before the election happened or while the election happened, see, they have in a lot of times African elections, these international observers, right? And African governments need to put a stop to that. You don't let no international observers, and them international observers are the folks. It's not even other Africans like that. When I seen on TV Stacey Abrams as an international observer, I like, oh no, Nigeria. Do you know who's in your continent? You know who's in your country. Stacey Abrams. Now we already know the get down with the Democrats. I don't even, I'm limited on what I can say about that. They like to do certain things. They don't like to play fair. And all of a sudden this guy gets in. Nobody understands why. Because Stacey Abrams and them showed up. That's why. And you got a puppet put in. That's what it is. So because of that puppet, and BRICS see that, they're like, nah, we good. So y'all got to get rid of that puppet over there in Nigeria. That's really what it is. It's that puppet. And there's a lot of young people in Nigeria, they good people. They want to see Nigeria be great, but let's call it what it is. Nigeria got the same problem we got. We got people who aren't within our age range, none of our age range, running the country to the ground. Same thing with America. The country is being ran to the ground, literally, by people who don't even understand that the world has changed. It has completely changed. It's not the same no more. They're still fighting about people working from home. That's the new normal now. Deal with it. Some professions you have to come in. A lot of them you don't. So maybe Nigeria, you can try to take care of y'all issues, clean some things up. Maybe next time y'all can try again to get into BRICS. But a lot of people trying to get in. And, I see people so, oh my God, BRICS and ooh, they come out their currency, they gonna do this to the dollar. And I see black people doing that, it kind of gets on my nerves. I'm like, what? So you want us to keep colonizing the African continent or something? So you could have a certain lifestyle? I'm like, You sound like a colonizer when y'all talking like that. You say, "Oh, we're so worried about BRICS." What you worried for? What are you worried for? You can go to the African continent and go into BRICS countries if you want. Nobody gonna stop anything if you go over there. They're not. But let me know what y'all think about, what this sister saying of, Nigerians who are in Nigeria. You let me know. Are you happy with your current president? Because boy, from what I'm hearing, you're not happy at all.
Woo, woo. I'm telling you, man. We not vote the man, no. And that's true. That word when you coin for am perfect. Turnable.
Now
That's
puppets.
puppet.
Yeah, now puppets.
Now real turn in the flesh. Now that man be real puppet. I'm telling you. God forbid. God forbid.
Well, the only thing that gives me some form of succor, when I see the person who the mandate has been given to, and I look at his trajectory, I know that there is a power that is beyond physical, that is pushing him. And as a spiritual person that believes in a higher power, my belief is that that higher power is the creator of the universe. And and I know that he is the one pushing and moving this man. And if he stands for you, no one can be against you. That is the only thing that gives me reassurance. But if it's on human delivery, the Nigerian system, no. But even the Bible says that you must take it by what? By force. You must take it by force. Because God will not come down from heaven to do the job. He has brought somebody who has opened the eyes of Nigerians to see and to know the light from the darkness. So it is left for Nigerians to take it by force if they refuse to relinquish what they have stolen in peace. Then let the place go in pieces. That's so.
Exactly. No, not true you talk. Not true. Now, exactly. God hand dey in the midst of this thing. That is why we need to come out en masse for Nigeria. That September 6th, if e no go, as they choose that date by themselves with their own mouth, they come and talk anything contrary to wetin we believe and everybody see, then forget. Anything wey we choose to do, the God of the universe is with us. I'm telling you facts. The God of the universe is with us. Anything we choose to do. Enough is enough. For over 60 goddamn years, Nigeria never moves because of greedy people. When we say na only their stomach and their family na dem dey think of. Only God know where they go drag these rats out of. Only God know. There was a video I saw. The man was speaking Yoruba. Let me even play it for all of us here. For those of you that missed it, let me play it. I've been waiting for the part 2 because I say no. This man, this video I have to play it. I really have to play it so that people will see. Let me see. Let me bring it here. The man was giving the history of Agbado. The history, although he was speaking Yoruba, so the Yoruba speaking people, no can help me interpret. Can bring her from here. It's now or never. That's September 6th. That's the date, man. Now or never.
pé tí mo fẹ́ sọ bí ìní ní ọjọ́ pé tí mo fẹ́ sọ bí Tinubu bó ṣe ṣẹ̀ wá. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ìní ni mo fẹ́ sọ bí ó ṣe ṣẹ̀ wá. Ṣé rí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu orúkọ ẹ̀kọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹni tí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu tó lo orúkọ ẹ̀ ọmọ bàbá K.O. Tinubu ni. Bàbá K.O. Tinubu is Kafaru Olúwọlé Tinubu. Ó bí àkọ́bí obìnrin. Àkọ́bí obìnrin yẹn ó ṣaláìsí ìgbà tí Tinubu tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá yẹn. Màmá Tinubu ò kì í ṣe ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ní ọ̀dọ̀ Abibat Mogaji o. Màmá Tinubu ò ṣe ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ Abibat Mogaji. Tinubu ló ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ̀dọ̀ K.O. Tinubu, that is Kafaru Olúwọlé Tinubu. Ọlọ́pàá ni bàbá yẹn, lọ́yà dẹ̀tún ni. Ọlọ́pàá ni ní Old West ní ayé ìgbà yẹn. Tinubu ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀, Tinubu dẹ̀ mọ ọmọ ẹ̀ tó kú yẹn. Ní under ìgbà yẹn, ní during ìgbà yẹn ni Tinubu travel. Ó fi orúkọ ọmọ yẹn ó change. Orí ẹ̀ yẹn títà yẹn ló change sí Ahmed because obìnrin lọ́mọ yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé wọn kì í tẹ̀ka, kò dẹ̀ sí biometric. Obìnrin ni, ṣùgbọ́n Bọ́lá Tinubu mú orúkọ ẹ̀ ó lọ fi ṣe pálí, so wọ́n á lè fi pé ọmọ Tinubu ni, ó lọ fi gba visa. Gbogbo alamọ bí irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ, ṣùgbọ́n òun change àárín orúkọ ọmọ yẹn, ó change ẹ̀ sí Ahmed. So Bọ́lá yẹn orúkọ obìnrin ni. Àwọn tó mọ̀ díẹ̀ wọ́n wà láyé, àwọn tó dẹ̀jọ́ tó wọ́n ti kú. Àwọn tó jọ tó lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn, ìyá Abibat Mogaji, bàbá K.O. Tinubu, bàbá kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, Múrí Òkunọlá, àwọn ló mú Tinubu lọ sí iwájú Wahab Fọláwíyọ láti lọ fi Quran búra pé ọmọ bíbí inú àwọn ni.
Thank you very much, Gravitas. I really appreciate that. That is fantastic. Thank you for doing that.
Bàbá kan wá wà tó jẹ́ olórí ẹbí àwọn Tinubu, NS Tinubu ló ń jẹ́, òun ló lórí ẹbí wọn. Wọ́n mú Tinubu náà lọ sí ibẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn náà sọ pé ọmọ bíbí inú àwọn ni. Lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn, àwọn tó bá wà láyé wọ́n á testify sí nǹkan tí mo sọ yìí. Ó ra Mercedes fún bàbá yẹn, Mercedes tó rà fún bàbá yẹn, Shagari type, oní stretch yẹn ló rà fún bàbá olórí ẹbí NS yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Tinubu wọ́n máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí ń sọ yìí. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Tinubu original ni mo ń sọ yìí o. Wọ́n máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo ń sọ yìí. Bàbá yẹn lo stretch Mercedes 200. Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ló rà fún. Ìgbà tí bàbá yẹn mú wá, Kafaru tó mú Tinubu wá, ó lọ́mọ òun ni. Ṣé lè mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé bàbá yẹn bí ọmọ Tinubu, but ọmọ bàbá yẹn ti ṣaláìsí. Ó lọ́mọ tóun bí síta ni. Bàbá yẹn ló bí àwọn Dèjì Ọ̀hándò pẹ̀lú ìkejì ẹ̀. Ṣé wá rí bàbá yẹn náà, ẹ lọ wo history àwọn tó bá wà tọmọ bàbá yẹn dáadáa, ìyẹn Kafaru yẹn ó live bí ọba ni. Kíní ló ń gbé ibi Purple Street níbi tí shrine Fẹlá wà. Ó wá kúrò ń bẹ̀, ó wá sí Adé Ọlọ́dẹ́kùn. Ilé tó gbẹ̀yìn sí Adé Ọlọ́dẹ́kùn tí Zenith Bank wà, ilé bàbá yẹn nìyẹn. Ó move láti ibẹ̀ yẹn, ó move wá sí ibẹ̀ yẹn, lọ́yà ni. So ìgbà tí wọ́n fa gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, bàbá kan wà, Rafiu Tinubu, òun ni head of service. Kò lè sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé ó wà lọ́ndà Tinubu. Ìgbà tí Tinubu kúrò, bàbá yẹn kúrò, bàbá yẹn jáde, ó ní kò kí n ṣe ẹbí àwọn, báwọn ò mọ̀ rí. Gbogbo àwọn ẹbí Tinubu tó jẹ́ original, wọ́n láwọn ò mọ̀ rí. Ṣùgbọ́n bàbá Kafaru yẹn ní ọmọ òun ni, but everybody deny. Ṣé rí Kẹ́mi Nelson tó ń pè ní Yèyé Ṣẹwà, màmá Kẹ́mi Nelson ní Tinubu ni. Tó bá wà láyé, òun náà deny pé Ahmed Bọ́lá Tinubu kò kí n ṣe bí àwọn ò mọ̀. Ṣé wá rí bàbá tó mú wá yẹn, ọlọ́pàá ni bàbá yẹn, yẹn Kafaru yẹn tó lọ́mọ òun ní Tinubu. Gani Fáwáyèmí, ìgbà tí Tinubu fẹ́ contest, orúkọ yẹn ni Tinubu fi ṣe senator. Ìgbà tó wá fẹ́ di ṣe governor ló ní problem pẹ̀lú orúkọ yẹn. Gani Fáwáyèmí ní kí ó lọ mú àwọn document ẹ̀ wá, because wọ́n mọ̀ kó ṣẹ̀wọ̀n l'Amẹ́ríkà. Gbogbo ló wà ní 5 years ago. Wọ́n wá competition, wọ́n kọ sí ọ́fíìsì Ọbásanjọ́. Ní under Ọbásanjọ́, àwọn petition tó kọ orí tébù Àtíkù Abubakar ni òun dé sí wọ́n wá kó ní táìmù yẹn àwọn tí wọ́n ní kọ́ lead investigation pé ọlọ́pàá iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ni kọ́ lọ investigate lára àwọn tíìmù yẹn òun ni Rilwan Akiolu wà. Ìgbà tí Rilwan Akiolu ó meet Bọ́lá Tinubu wọ́n jọ bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Rilwan Akiolu ní kò kí ń ṣe iṣẹ́ òun ọwọ́ ọ̀gá òun Musiliu Smith níṣẹ́ yẹn wà. Ibi tí bàbá Musiliu Smith yẹn tóun náà ti gba àbọ̀dì fún Èkó yẹn nìyẹn. So wọ́n fà pẹ̀lú Funsho Williams nígbà yẹn ní àwọn bàbá yẹn ìyá Abibat Mogaji K.O. Tinubu àti Múrí Okunọlá àti Fẹ́mi Òkúnnù wọ́n lọ fi Quran búra pé ọmọ àwọn ní Bọ́lá Tinubu. Àwọn yẹn ikú rédèrèdè lọ́kù. Fẹ́mi Òkúnnù yẹn ó yìí wà láyé. So Tinubu Rilwan Akiolu ìgbà tó wà lọ́lọ́pàá òun ló ó wà lára àwọn tíìmù tó ní kó investigate Bọ́lá Tinubu. Wọ́n wá lọ bá IG Musiliu Smith. True yẹn wọ́n fi Bátìkù sọ̀rọ̀. Látọ́ Bátìkù sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo fáìlì yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ kó déwájú Ọbásanjọ́. Wọ́n tẹ gbogbo fáìlì yẹn wọ́n tẹ̀rìn. Ibẹ̀ ni Bọ́lá Tinubu àtàtìkù lọ ti pàdé ara wọn. Ṣé wọ́n ti pé wọ́n jọ fọ́ọ̀mù AD ni ohun tó fa relationship wọn nìyẹn. Kí ló fa relationship Haúsá àti Yorùbá? Ohun tó fa relationship wọn tó fi jọ dá pátì lẹ́nìyẹn. Ẹ wá rí Akiolu ó ti máa ń lóun máa jọba láti kékeré. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ Gbádégẹṣin ó ti máa ń sọ fún wọn pé òun máa jọba. Ìgbà tí pápá kú tí wọn ọmọ bọ́yẹ máa ṣe ó fi ọ̀rẹ́ ó fi jẹ elétò ìdìbò so ìyẹn lè sọ di ọba. Wọ́n wá lọ bá Bọ́lá Tinubu ní gọ́vnà. Wọ́n sáré tó ẹ lọ wo space yẹn kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí kí ọba kan kú kọ́dẹ̀ sáré kó kọba. Wẹ́ ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní onírò náà sìn so orí Akiolu àti rí wọ́n sáré cook wọ́n fi jọba. Òun ni oore tó ṣe fún Tinubu lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn òun ni wọ́n san fún padà lọ ṣe fi jẹ ọba. Ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe ń ránṣẹ́ nìyẹn. Ṣé rí pé òun náà ni wọ́n mú Ambode fún tí odidi ọba olórí burúkú ọba. Wọ́n sọ pé táwọn èèyàn by the grace of Almighty Allah if you don't vote for Ambode you will go by the lagoon. Ṣé rí pé àwọn Igbo tó lọ́ máa go by lagoon òun lógún wá kó but òun náà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Bàbá Musiliu Smith ọmọ Èkó tẹ́lẹ̀ gbàbọ̀dì tó yẹn wọ́n ra jeep méjì fún wọn. Orí tó wá san fún bàbá Musiliu Smith Abattoir ní Agége wọ́n gbà ní ọwọ́ Garima Alhaji Garima Muhammed wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n wá list wọ́n franchise ẹ̀ fún bàbá Musiliu Smith for 99 years Abattoir 99 years fún èèyàn kan ṣé kò fẹ́ kú mọ́ ni. Orí tó fi san bàbá Musiliu Smith nìyẹn. Ẹ wá wo ibi tó ti lọ búra lọ́jọ́ sí ṣe mọ̀ pé chief imam bẹ̀ Afis Abu àwọn Akiolu náà ni wọ́n wọ̀ kí ẹ̀ ìyẹn ní ẹgbẹ́ kan tàwọn Muslim. Conspiracy yẹn ó ti ń lọ ohun tí Tinubu ṣe dé bó ṣe dé Èkó nìyẹn. Àwọn ìyá Mọ́gàjì Múrí Okunọlá àti K.O. àti bàbá Fẹ́mi Òkúnnù àwọn ọlọ́mọ Tinubu wa bí Tinubu ṣe rí nìyẹn. Kò sí ẹni kí gbogbo fámìlì Tinubu lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó bá fẹ́ ká sun ilé wọn ní ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan kó jáde kó wá sọ ibi tí wọ́n ti tọmọ Tinubu. Mama Kemi Nelson dínà ẹ̀. Bàbá Rafiu Tinubu yẹn náà dínà ẹ̀. Kí gbogbo alamọ amọ́lé gbogbo Tinubu lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kí wọ́n jáde kó wá sọ ibi tí wọ́n ti tọmọ Tinubu. Àsun ilé gbogbo wọn tí wọ́n bá sọ pé ẹbí àwọn ní Tinubu kí Tinubu lọ mú birth certificate hospital tó bí sí kó mú jáde ẹni tí ó bá tọmọ kó mú jáde. Àfàwàlà yìí ó ti tó. Enough is enough. Ó tó gẹ́. Àwọn bàbá tó gbàbọ̀dì fún wa nìyẹn. Ìmí inú wọn tó bá kú àwú òkú ẹ̀. Àwọn bàbá burúkú àwọn ìyá burúkú ìyá Abibat Mogaji tó rí jákujàku yẹn.
Una hear am? Una hear? Anyway, the date don reach ground. We no get now up. Now we dey go from here. Nowhere else. because they say they carry fire for head. So the children, when they don't train, when they say they no go gree, they don't grow now. We go see as it go be on the 6th now. Yeah, when we listen to Dr. Arika now, Jare.
The Central African country, Gabon, now has a new transition leader, General Brice Oligui Nguema, the leader of Gabon's elite Republican Guard, the unit in charge of the president's security. He became the country's leader after army officers appeared on national television in Gabon, annulled the presidential election, and claimed they had taken power and placed the president Ali Bongo under house arrest, and his son has been detained. The Gabon coup is the 8th coup in former French colonies in Africa in the past 3 years. According to the Electoral Commission, incumbent President Bongo had won a 3rd term in office with just under 2/3 of the vote in a poll the opposition claimed was fraudulent. The country has been run by one family for 55 years. France says they're watching and following the situation closely. Meanwhile, the European Union's foreign policy chief, Joseph Borrell, has expressed concern for the whole of the region after yet another military coup. Also in Zimbabwe of Southern Africa, the main opposition, the Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC, is calling for fresh elections after its presidential candidate lost to incumbent Emerson Mnangagwa in a vote it blasted as both flawed and illegal. Nelson Chamisa, who is the opposition leader, and his party rejected the election results, accusing President Emerson Mnangagwa of perpetrating a coup d'etat over the ballot. According to results announced late Saturday by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Mnangagwa, 80 years old, won a 2nd term with 52.6% against 44% for the CCC's 45-year-old Nelson Chamisa. International observers say the vote fell short of democratic standards, while the opposition stated that the poll was marred by rigging and voter suppression and claimed victory. Joining us now on the morning show to discuss the political situation in Gabon and the just concluded election in Zimbabwe is Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao, a diplomat, medical doctor, and activist. She served as the African Union representative to the United States from 2017 to 2019. Good morning, Dr. Kwao, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, let's start with Zimbabwe, your home country. The election there, the president, 80 years old, has been declared the winner. Now, the major opposition party, the CCC, is saying that that election was fraudulent. Now, what options are really available? What next for Zimbabwe? Because the same opposition party says that the judiciary in Zimbabwe cannot be relied upon. So, who is going to enforce the fresh elections that they are asking for? Would they have the option of going to the same judiciary that they have been condemning? And in any case, the Zimbabwe authorities have queried the international observers who wrote reports, and they said those reports were biased. So what next for Zimbabwe? Would the president have his way?
Well, thank you very much for bringing that very important subject of our beloved country of Zimbabwe. Let me start by saying Zimbabwe is a very special country. Special country in the sense that when you look at our history and how we attained our independence, it was independence that was attained through blood loss of thousands of young people who stood up after being oppressed, after living under apartheid conditions for a very long time, starting with colonization, followed by the unilateral declaration of independence by Ian Smith, which of course ushered in the apartheid. With that background, it is pretty clear that any leadership that's going to be in Zimbabwe has got to recognize how Zimbabwe got to be the Zimbabwe that we have today. I think it's actually true for most of the African nations that attained their independence through guerrilla warfare, through bloodshed, through loss of lives of many young people. That having been said, you will find that since independence, there have been forces, outside forces, that were very disappointed that Zimbabwe was not thrown into a civil war after our independence. You saw the coming together of President Mugabe and then Vice President Joshua Nkomo. Again, a negotiated agreement from two leaders who had fought viciously to liberate our people. That background, that history of liberation, the history that we must never ever forget, those who lost their lives defending Zimbabwe. So it is fitting that if we are going to have a leader, we must have a leader who respects that. We must have a leader who understands that for us to have the independence that we have today in Zimbabwe, many people lost their lives. There are still forces that are still trying to make sure that Zimbabwe continues to pay for having had a transition to civilian rule that was not marred with a civil war. Some of you may not know, but there are many forces that wanted Zimbabwe to get into a civil war. That did not happen. Following that, there was the land reform, which people again must understand. The Lancaster Agreement, what it stipulated, what needed to happen, when Zimbabwe would begin to talk about the land reform. It is Zimbabwe that followed the Lancaster Agreement to the T. People don't know that history. It is Britain, it is the white Zimbabweans who did not follow the Lancaster Agreement to the T. It is those who wanted to make sure that white rule continued in Zimbabwe that started creating chaos, that started using their own connections outside to make sure that negative information is shown on Zimbabwe repeatedly. Consequently, because of the land reform, Zimbabwe has endured 23 years of sanctions. And in spite of all that, sanctions that everybody has said are unfounded, sanctions that everybody has said they are illegal, but nonetheless, the sanctions continue because those with outside connections continue to exert pressure and spew out negative information about the country. With that in mind, when you look at if we are going to have an opposition, former president, Vice President Tsvangirai, after having gone through some contentious periods with President Mugabe, they eventually had gotten to where they had a common understanding. A common understanding, for example, that when Vice President Tsvangirai was getting married, his reception was being hosted by President Mugabe. That's the sort of Zimbabwe we want to see, where leadership understands that yes, we may fight, yes, we may have our disagreements, but at the end of the day, we must ultimately look at what is ultimately best for the people. We don't want leadership that's going to be used by outside forces as instruments of our own self-destruction. I'm leading this to say, during my tenure as the African Union ambassador to the United States, I was quite disappointed by members of the then MDC, and that included Chamisa, the current president of CCC, which is a new party, when they were coming to the United States to lobby for sanctions against Zimbabwe to continue. That to me was quite disturbing, understanding what sanctions were doing to the average person on the street. Why then would anyone who wants to lead the people of Zimbabwe, why then would anyone who claims to love the people of Zimbabwe then come to Washington and lobby for sanctions against Zimbabwe to continue? I think it was at that point that the opposition of Zimbabwe lost me. I just could not understand it. And that sentiment continues. You hear comments from some of them claiming that the Westerners are going to help us, that we needed to bring Westerners in order to improve the economy. They failed to understand that the economy is where it is today because of the same Western countries that are not pleased to see Zimbabwe moving forward. The same Western forces that are more interested in our natural resources, the same Western forces that are doing the same in many other countries. What I would like our African electorates to understand that you can analyze any African country. It doesn't matter how good a government is. The outsiders, particularly the Western countries, will always support the opposition. Wherein lies the problem, because now we are being used as instruments of our own self-destruction. Our people should stop and pay attention to what is really going on. That is my problem with what is happening in Zimbabwe. Some in the opposition are heavily funded and supported by outside forces. So needless to say, their judgment is flawed. Their judgment is not based on what is ultimately best for the people of Zimbabwe. For me, the opposition lobbying for sanctions to continue against Zimbabwe, that was the red line that they crossed for me, and that's when they lost me as a Zimbabwean. And so the opposition, I feel they need to understand our history, and they need to understand that they cannot be supported by outside forces, and that they should resist the temptation to be used as instrument of our own self-destruction. We have our elders. I understand President Kikwete is leading a team that's going to be going to Zimbabwe. There are processes that we can follow. There are V11 forms that are available. They are free to review them. They have the right to contest the elections. They have the right to ask as many questions as they want. They have the right, even in the United States, you remember back then when they talked about counting the charts. Whatever needs to be done to count those votes, to count those V11 forms, but do it truthfully, without cheating, without creating unnecessary wahala, like we would say in Nigeria. But there is due process that they should be awarded. They are free to recount the elections. And yes, people must be free to cast their votes without intimidation. Yes. My own understanding is that about 2 to 5% of the votes, there were some challenges there. That is to be expected. But even then, that 2 to 5% of votes that were felt to be not quite at par, they need to be evaluated. Right. But when you look at the greater scheme of things, I think 2 to 5% of the votes having some issues is not too big a number. But nonetheless, those two must be counted. But at the end of the day, I feel our elders should be allowed to deal with the situation in Zimbabwe and any other country that has issues, and keep the outsiders out of the situation, because their intentions are never good. In fact, it is they that create unnecessary conditions in our countries.
All right. Dr. Cole, thank you so much. The last time you were here, you also expressed the same view in terms of keep the outsiders away, let Africa deal with its own issues internally. Now, you talk about seeking redress, especially from Mr. Chamisa, if he feels that the elections were not transparent, or he should go through it the formal way. But in 2018, during the last elections, he did the same, and the challenge there was that there's a view that the judiciary is compromised, that he had complained that tens of thousands of votes were not accounted for, but it didn't bear much fruit. So what is the hope that if he does the same thing now, things will be different? And the picture you painted about Zimbabwe's elections and what occurred in the last weekend is almost as if you were speaking about many other African countries. The same challenges occur, election irregularities, leaders wanting to stay put, and the claim by opposition that elections are not free and fair. How do we begin to solve this problem within Africa? Because it's a recurrent challenge. The same thing that happened in Gabon, and why the elections over the weekend fraught with irregularities, why the military felt the need to step in through a coup. How do we begin to solve these issues internally?
Again, we have to look at each situation very differently. And for the most part, again, I want to go back to the common denominator when it comes to elections in Africa. Why is it that Africans are not allowed to hold their elections without the influence of the Western world?
Simple.
That's where the problem begins.
Exactly.
Where it doesn't matter, like I said at the beginning, no matter how good a leader is, the Western world is always going to support the opposition.
Exactly.
And if you follow the history, let's say the opposition happens to win, the Western world will still support whoever is opposition. So I want the Africans to understand that we are under siege, and a lot of times we are supported to do things, to behave in a way that is detrimental to the overall well-being of the people. Infiltration of the African opposition parties by those who wish to see us harmed becomes a big problem, where now you don't know which one is the chicken and which one is the egg, because the infiltration is heavy. It's coming from people who are well-funded, and our people at times are not stopping to think enough to say, why am I moving in the direction that I'm moving in? Why am I allowing others from outside to influence my thinking? And that is why it is a common denominator that every African election, opposition is always going to cry foul. It's okay to cry foul, but let's follow the process. Let's make sure that everybody's voice is heard. Where we run into a problem is Western money being used to influence the decision-making processes of the opposition. Why is it that the Western world never comes in with an even hand? If you're going to support both parties. Support the ruling party, support the opposition, but make sure that you don't interfere. China does not interfere. Russia does not interfere. We Africans, we do not interfere with anybody else's elections. But sadly, African elections are heavily infiltrated, are heavily supported by outside, and always supporting the opposition to create havoc. Wherein lies the problem. That's why you see the common denominator. I am going to table that interference from the Western world is the biggest challenge all African countries are running into. So as Africans, we must look at every election individually. Take the time to understand the leadership. Understand Chamisa in Zimbabwe. Who is he? What does he stand for? And what does he plan to do for Zimbabwe? Be objective in your analysis of the people. Don't just jump onto the bandwagon and just follow the general trends. Oh, African leadership. No, we have some very good leaders who are leading their countries well in Africa. Let's not paint every African leader with one brush. Let's not paint every electoral process with one brush. Now that you're talking about Zimbabwe, I told you on a personal level, and these are my personal opinions, where the opposition lost me. Supporting sanctions against Zimbabwe is a big thing to me, because I know what sanctions are doing to Zimbabwe. And for any leader who's going to stand up and visit the Western world and encourage them to continue sanctions against Zimbabwe, that person does not deserve my vote, and I have no respect for that particular leader. I'm going to say, then let's go on to Gabon. Gabon is another situation. Let's not be quick to jump into it. Just because the junta have taken power doesn't necessarily make it look similar to what's happening in Niger.
Louder.
When we look at what's happening in Gabon, and again, that's my personal assessment. This is a coup that's taking place soon after the elections. You want to look and evaluate the positions of the opposition. What are the positions? Who is the leader of the opposition? Not the junta, but rather the opposition party that was running against the deposed president, Bongo. What was his position? Who was supporting him? And the junta, are they in line with the opposition, or are they going to be a neutral party? All those issues need to be addressed and looked at very carefully and be analyzed. Why? At the same time, we're still running into the invisible hand that is always at play when it comes to African elections, which makes it very difficult for the African electorate to be able to say what is true, what is fact, what is real, and where are the lies, and where is the truth in the middle of all that. But if we are aware that there are outside forces that are constantly trying to topple us, create chaos, and keep us forever chasing our tails, it'll be easier for us to then say, you know, the situation in Gabon, let's step back for a little bit. Let's understand, how do we know that France, realizing that the sentiment that's coming out of Niger, maybe they're re-strategizing. Is it possible that they could have been supporting both the government as well as the opposition? And then now the junta could get mixed up in all that? I really think the situation in Gabon is still fresh, is still fluid. we need to take some time to really understand it and bundle it and understand who is who, what do they stand for. But above all, let's make sure that the people who are coming to power, they are not being used as instruments of our own self-destruction. So let's take some time and analyze the situation in Gabon truthfully and make sure that we, at the end of the day, we have an African solution to African problems.
Yes.
Once again, I'm calling on our elders to regroup, to come to Gabon and talk to our children, talk to our leaders, so they really understand the issues. Let's look at President Bongo. Let's look at the military leader. Let's look at the opposition. Let's understand all the functions. And so it is important that we understand what is really going on. For now, everybody step back, take a look at what's going on. Let's understand it before we run into rash judgment.
Okay, Mama Africa. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more with Mama Africa. We'll be right back.
Wait, Kenish, he was rude to her.
The best healthcare is there in ways big and small. There when we most and least expect it. We may not.
All right. Welcome back. We've got Dr. Arikana Chimboro-Kwai, a diplomat and a medical doctor and an activist, popularly known as Mama Africa. Mama Africa, great to have you. It's always a pleasure to see you on the show. But I'd like to carefully disagree with a lot of things you said here and also throw my questions. Number one, you talked about China not, supporting opposition party. China has been supporting, in fact, there are over 50,000 trainings by the CCP to various African oppositions all over the continent of Africa. There are also many ways China's have used soft power to infiltrate African democratic process. And Russia, too, is beginning to take suit as regards that. Also, the other part of the conversation, because we can only blame the West on this. Yes, France. We know France has done a lot of destruction to the African continent, the Western nation. We can't deny that. We cannot deny the likes of what Foucault did, the destructive effect of the likes of Foucault on the African continent. But is it only the Western nations or other people that are coming to benefit from Africa like China that are doing this? And you kept on saying, yes, the likes of Nelson Chamisa shouldn't go abroad and seek, support from opposition, that they should look inward, they should file their case. Ayo pointed it out that Nelson Chamisa filed this case the last time, but nothing happened. So you're also saying that there are some African leaders doing well. Is it what are you saying? Are you saying, Ma, that the likes of Menagagwa are good leaders? Did you see the corruption case and corruption investigation documentary Al Jazeera Network released, a 5-part series of how there were transactions around the president and dealing in gold at the expense of Zimbabwean people, the massive corruption case? So is it that Menagagwa is a good leader with all of that?
Let me start with the last example that you have given. Again, I would appreciate it if journalists, you all could take time to really understand the facts on the ground. When it comes to the gold mafia, no one in Zimbabwe was disadvantaged. Everybody that is a miner, starting from the artisanal miners to commercial mining, no one was disadvantaged. The people who were taking the gold out of Zimbabwe were licensed. No criminal activity took place in Zimbabwe. If there were any criminal activities that took place, they may have taken place once the gold was outside Zimbabwe. You, my son, I need you to do your homework and understand the story fully. Do not jump into the media and the rhetoric that they spread. No one in Zimbabwe was disadvantaged. The people took the gold out legally. The processes that are followed by anybody else who's taking gold out of Zimbabwe were followed. So please do not spread information that is half truth. Take your time, understand what really happened in Zimbabwe. Any illegal activity took place outside Zimbabwe once the gold left Zimbabwe. So that's one thing. Let's look at the conditions on the ground. When you look at, let's say, for example, farming, are you realizing that Zimbabwe is now emerging as one of the major producers of food? If you look at the largest Bamba harvest of wheat, do you think that's just going to happen in a vacuum? Have you taken the time to really go to Zimbabwe and see the developments that are taking place? Look at the new airport. Look at the highways that are being built. Look at the entry points, the entry points that are being built. Have you taken the time yourself to actually see the developments that are taking on in Zimbabwe? Or you are just sitting in your offices and listening to whatever propaganda that's going to be spewed out by the media because they have the accesses to do so? I would hope that you journalists, you are the ones who have failed us on many occasions by not taking the time to really dig deep and get your history and understand what's.
I love this woman. I gotta pause this, guys. I'm sorry. I love this woman. She's dishing it out because she's correct. We have ignorant people, journalists, the so-called professionals, everybody, and this sense of pride that they have, ego that does not help anybody. When you're talking to a well-informed and highly educated woman like this that has sat on boards, you listen and take notes. Even if you're going to push back, you have to do so respectfully. This woman knows what she's been doing. I doubt that most of these journalists recognize who this woman is and what the work she has done, how much work she has done. They don't. They're so quick. Look at him quoting Al Jazeera. For goodness sake, as an African journalist, are you not ashamed that you're quoting something outside of yourself as source? And you are in Africa, and what is going on is within your continent. Dr. Arikana, school them, ignorant people. I'm disappointed in Rufai on this one.
Going on in Africa before you start just picking up from the Western media. You are quite wrong. I know I have spent quite a bit of time now in Zimbabwe. Having lived outside the country and going back to Zimbabwe, I'm amazed at the visible changes that I see myself. When I hear of this election violence, I've not seen them. I remember one of the...
She's not being condescending, Misty. It's annoying. She's not being condescending. I disagree with you on that, Eunice. She's not being condescending. Look at the question that Rufai asked. Because what happens is a lot of these African journalists, let me speak for Nigeria, they are ignorant on a lot of world issues. What they do is rely on the Western propaganda. This woman is on ground. She's telling you what it is, her experience has been. It's a different thing if you don't like the style of whoever it is, the president or whatever. But there are ways you can couch the question in such a way that is respectful to her. She's not being disrespectful. She's teaching him what he ought to have done. As a journalist, you go do your research, have information on the questions you want to ask, then present those questions. Has Rufai ever gone to Zimbabwe? Is he on ground? Does he know? He's talking from the side of his mouth. He's claiming that because what you put out there in the media, a lot of people are going to run with it. You have to understand that. The Chinese companies or the Chinese people that they are talking about, you don't even know what kind of business it is that they are doing. You don't know what kind of contracts they have signed. This woman is telling you that this is what they have done. She's on the ground. There are certain questions you don't ask somebody who you have invited to your show. I don't understand. Do your research first. If you don't know, then you say, you know what, I agree, I'm not very well versed or knowledgeable in this area. So I will go ahead and do my, whatever research. And then I'll, when I have the opportunity again, we will talk about it. There are ways to do this thing now. Come on. No, I beg. We want to leave Dr. Arikana. This woman don't do plenty work for us, I beg.
Elections, I was sitting in my living room in Zimbabwe, and there was all this chaos going on. Black people supposedly looting and stealing from white people. And I later found out that it was farmers in some remote part of Zimbabwe that had staged that situation to get their own employees to start acting like they were stealing refrigerators, to steal a refrigerator and take it to a shack. They were pushing cars, stealing cars by pushing them. So then CNN was there faster than any local media could show up. That was back in the 90s. All staged. I'm sitting in my living room in Zimbabwe and wondering which Zimbabwe is this that CNN is talking about. So you journalists, please, I ask you to take the time before you start reporting, get your facts straight.
Okay,
The gold mafia,
Mama
no
Africa,
Zimbabwean can tell you. Yes.
Mama Africa, so as a journalist, we'll do our jobs and we'll put the facts to you. Mama Africa, please tell us more about the story of this Zimbabwean top ambassador, Hubert Angel, the pastor that was going around brokering deals on behalf of the president. It was a 5-part series. And concerning not getting our facts right, the facts are out there as regards the matter, what was happened. Those conversations were taped. They are video evidence of Hubert Angel bragging about the access he had to the president and the president's wife and the president's family and how they were moving cash around and the church he ran. There were many other people in that video. So are you saying now that Mnangagwa is the best leader for your country because, you are seeing developments and all of that? Is that what you're saying? And the opposition should be shut down? Tell us more about this Hubert Angel, Ma.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely. Very good question. How often do you see people just name dropping constantly? That pastor, that was all bravado. And he will tell you that if he used to tell you the truth. That pastor, it was all bravado. Somebody who is just using a position that he has been given and he's just pushing name dropping. Now, if there were some other things that may happen from time to time, but clearly the pastor was just a loudmouth pastor who was probably not very well versed in diplomacy, and he was name dropping. Now, if there were some other issues, how he can say, I'll take money and just, who is carrying $2 billion? I mean, can you tell me, can you actually carry $2 billion in a duffel bag? And that's exactly what he said. I can put $2 billion in a duffel bag and I throw it into the diplomatic bag and nobody's going to touch it. Is that realistic? Does that even make sense? Okay, so Dr. please, let's also read between the lines. I'm simply saying,
Dr. Kwa, I have more other people tied up around that deal that can I read out to you based on the research. So, but I will yield the floor to other people as regards that corruption research. And also, I'm sure you know that journalists were arrested for ever even talking about the case in the local media, and they were completely barred and hassled and muscled. So a man, Emerson Mnangagwa, that muscles and attacks the journalists for reporting any case where there's no press freedom, does that make him also a good leader? Those are the questions. But I yield the floor, Dr. Kwa, Mama Africa. I respect you, Mama. Yes. I yield the floor.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, let's go back.
As someone from
May I also...
Excuse me.
So
reward your team or thank loyal customers with something.
Kene, I didn't think he was rude. I just think that he's not knowledgeable enough, you know, and this is a problem with a lot of Nigerian journalists. How many of them really travel on ground to go do their research about what they want to speak about? Apart from the likes of David Hudein, how many of them really know what's going on ground? They rely on outside source. You rely on Al Jazeera. You see them quoting CNN sometimes. You see them quoting, you understand? So that's the problem. The fact that she's saying that she was making it in a statement. She was saying, yes, it's easy to sit in your air-conditioned office because you have to understand somebody in the ground that's experiencing something. This woman is doing a lot of work at the same time. Okay? She's trying, as she's interviewing, she's also educating as well. So it was not below the belt. Rufai got what he needed to shake him up a bit. You cannot be comfortable. Most of these Nigerian journalists do not travel to the source. They don't get their information from the source. They usually rely on third party. That is the problem. You cannot say you saw a documentary of 3 series. Okay, fine. You've seen a documentary. Which research did you do on your own as a journalist? We see David traveling, going to source to go and gather information. Everything about Tinubu that we are talking today, David Hudein single-handedly. That's what we're talking about. There's nothing below the belt there. If he hits him below the belt, then it's for him to go and learn, sit down. He doesn't know everything. As much as I like Rufai, I like and I respect him for standing up for the truth, because he's the only lonely journalist speaking the truth in Nigeria with regards to Nigerian politics. And there are times he says things, maybe trying to sound diplomatic. He says things that he's not supposed to say. I disagree with him. On this one, if he hits him below the belt, he should sit the heck up. They need to do more work when it has to do with information about other African countries. Me, I support Dr. Arikana for this one. I beg. If he dey verse, make it verse.
They'll love any day of the year. Black Hawk Net.
You wanted to say something?
No, I was simply saying, you also need to understand that we run into situations with journalists who come into African countries, particularly where there are areas of concern with their own agenda, and are not going to be looking for a balanced evaluation and assessment of the situation. At what point do we continue to allow journalists who are intentionally coming in with a specific agenda to destabilize the country and report negative, false information? We need to be able to define between the two: journalists who are coming to report the truth and journalists who are coming in to lie. Wherein lies our problem. It's a constant denominator when it comes to African politics. We never get to know the truth because some of our journalists are compromised. Yes, we have some very good journalists, but in the middle of them, there are some that are compromised, and they are on the payrolls of foreign nationals. That also is a serious problem that we must address.
Dr. Kwao, I concede the point that, well, as someone from Zimbabwe, you have your own choice in the matter. You know, you may well have your sympathies with ZANU-PF and not with the CCC. However, my concern...
No, let me say this. Try not to categorize me, sir. I am as factual as I need to be. I refuse to be pigeonholed into an agenda. I make my own assessment. I've told you where I drew the line when I felt, with proof, saw the people myself coming to lobby for sanctions against Zimbabwe. That's when I had issues, and that's where CCC, back then as MDC, lost me. Okay. That for me was a red line that I was not willing to cross.
Okay, but what I intend to interrogate is your point that, look, the opposition in Africa often works or, will seem to be influenced by outside interests. It's a conspiracy theory.
It's
which,
not.
May not really succeed if it is broken down country by country. But what I really wanted to talk about is the Francophone, what someone has described as the Francophone spring. We have seen coups, military interventions now in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, and now in Gabon. Now, but the difference in Gabon is that the coup makers...
Thank you very much, Nelly. There are nuances, yes, that he's not privy to. This woman is on the ground, for crying out loud. I think she's from Zimbabwe. So she knows it's like I'm talking about Nigerian situation right now. And I'm very angry about what's going on. And I'm passionate about it. And somebody is asking me a question. And I'm explaining to the person. And the person is pushing back with information they got third hand. They are not on the ground. They don't know what's going on. They don't understand the suffering. They don't understand the nuances. They don't understand the struggle. I will push back. That's exactly what she's doing. There are nuances to this thing. You don't know it all. When somebody who is live in that place is telling you, it's okay to say, okay, we're going to verify that information. Not just categorically say there was and you are referring to Al Jazeera. Come on now. Come on. Travel. Go to the source. Get your information right. Don't be quoting Al Jazeera. All these people have their own agendas. For crying out loud, Nigerian journalists need to do better. That's it.
And the people of Gabon who are jubilating, they have not condemned France. France has been condemned in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger, but in Gabon. Nobody is condemning France. Exactly. In fact, France, through the foreign minister, has condemned the coup. So what makes the Gabon case different? Because there, nobody can establish outside influence.
Again, you are making a comment, a statement that nobody can establish outside influence. I'm saying pause before you make such a firm blanket statement. We don't know if France is involved. And I need you to be clear about that. We do not know if France is involved. So we need to take time. This situation is too fresh. It is too fluid. It's premature for us to make a statement to say France is not involved. I have reservations when it comes to that. France is very conniving.
Yes.
Do not underestimate the games that France can play. We have France right now that is responsible, with other countries, of course, for the terrorist activities, the Boko Haram, the ISIS, the Al Qaeda. So at night they are supporting the terrorists. During the day they are working with the government. They are occupying those countries in the name of fighting terrorism, the terrorism that they created. So please, let's not forget. I am not ready to say France is not involved. France is very conniving. It will be foolish of us to think that France is not involved at this time. I'm saying let's take some time, push back. Let's continue to listen to the generals. Yes, I did listen to the speech of the general. Yes, I did notice that they said nothing about France. They said nothing about neo-colonization. They said nothing about imperialism. Let's wait and see exactly the direction in which the generals are taking us. But I would hold off claiming that France is not involved. I would hold off on that because I don't trust France. They're very conniving. You will be surprised down the road that to some extent they might have been involved. They work both parties. They're working both sides. They're very good at it. And they're doing it right now, even with the fight against terrorism. So please be careful when you say France is not involved.
Okay, but Dr. Kwa, what do you think of African leaders who decide to just stay in power permanently and perpetuate themselves and build a dynasty, as you have seen in Gabon and as you have seen in Equatorial Guinea?
And that is exactly where President Bongo made a mistake. I disagree totally with that. The family has run the country for 55 years. That's unacceptable. Changing the constitution is unacceptable. So yes, that blame should fall squarely on his lap. He dug his own grave. He never should have done it. But again, I'm simply saying, let's assess the situation for its totality. So we are not spoon-fed into taking one position. For example, right now, you're already quick to turn France loose. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Thank you.
But President Bongo should never have changed the constitution. And oh yeah, really, I think it's almost to the point of embarrassing that one family, one dynasty could run the country for 55 years. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. There is no excuse about that.
Well, thank you very much for your time with us this morning, Dr. Chihombori Kwao. We look forward to having a conversation with you in the near future.
Honestly, what jokers. You mean, this is the problem we have in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Kenneth, for saying this. With all the mess that's going on in Nigeria, none of them they talk about them. None of them. IRF had a glitch. Did you hear the news? The journalists talk about it. You don't hear it. They don't bother. With all the atrocities that's going on in Nigeria right now, none of them, they are all silent. They are all silent. They collect envelope for back. No investigation, nothing. Useless people. I'm telling you, all of them for sale. You are right. Okay? And yeah, Nelly, you are absolutely, there's so many things that Dr. Orekana opened my eyes to. You know, before I used to just focus on African issues, especially Nigerian issues, particularly. I'll be seeing these Nigerians. When can we learn? When they learn? It was Dr. Arikana that broke everything loose. Gave you insights that I never thought. And guess what? We saw it play out. No, please, let's give this woman her dues. I'm not saying she's a perfect person. I don't believe in perfection. But when person they talk true and if they stand on that truth consistently, this woman has been doing it for years. No. When the woman they talk, especially when they talk, you will say, okay, I will have to verify that information. We don't have it in front of us. The least thing you can say, you are quoting Al Jazeera. How about quote your library in Nigeria? How about quote yourself? I traveled to Zimbabwe. I met with so and so person. We engaged, or I spoke to my source. this is what happened. In fact, I witnessed. No, now math piece. No difference between even bloggers do a better job than all these news channels that we have. I beg you. I'm telling you, as a professional journalist, if I were, I'll be ashamed. I will be ashamed. And we all learn. Nobody know I finish. If to say na me, I'm telling you, I go say, you know what? I don't have all the information in front of me, but everything you said, I'm taking it in good faith or whatever. I'm gonna go back and do and verify the information. If I have the opportunity again, I will talk to you about this. Simple and short. They they have their own agenda too. Exactly. They do. You think Africa has no friends?
Yeah, you know, say Nigerian journalists, they are ignorantly arrogant. That's what Rifai just did now.
Thank you.
They don't ignorant too, but they go on use muscle. Don't know say that they embarrass themselves.
Exactly. God go bless you, Takoma. God go bless you. Ignorant people with ego. Just quiet, okay? You can't know it all. You don't think get all this. It's impossible. You go say, okay, we don't have that information in front of us, but we'll verify. And when I have the opportunity to speak to you again, I will be more than happy to bring up these questions with you. Simple. I beg.
There's what we call, you know, receptive to feedback. You have to have a very good attitude to be able to get feedback. Not when there's somebody's giving you feedback, it's of you to accept it, you know, with a professional way. You want to now exhibit more ignorance by arguing and grandstanding. Nonsense.
Thank you. Ha! Thank you. You even just you put them succinctly. Accept. You don't know I'm all. You are not in Zimbabwe. This woman is from Zimbabwe. She dey tell you wetin dey ground. E be like na person will come meet me now, they tell me say Peter Obi, this one, that one, that one. Meanwhile, I get family when they give me direct information, not be source, not be news, not be this one, from the ground. During election, when my sister go vote with her friends and her children, when they go vote, they tell me how many miles they trek because they keep pushing them from one place to the other. If I want to speak about it, I have direct source that I can quote and say, hey, by the way, this is what I heard. This is what happened. This is what happened. And I know, and I saw the videos that she shared with me and all of that. And then you not be arguing with me. Come on, I go there irritated too. And I will tell you, say, it's easy for you to sit for AC. I will say it. They need to do better. Nigerian journalists need to step up. We can't keep doing this. All the baba things wey happen for Nigeria, the kpain when they happen for East, the kpain in the North, the kpain or the banditry, the kidnap, they don't touch on it. They only talk about them. Now to wear tight suit when not be their own in the first place. We tie like goats. Come, they talk rubbish. They quote third party all the damn time. We are sick and tired of it. People they kpai every day. Not be woman go throw away a baby. 3 months old baby. I be 3 weeks old baby. Because you don't tire. You say now call now clear eyes you take one. They know they sit down and they address. They will collect envelope for back when they talk another thing for front. I'm sick and tired of all these journalists. They're embarrassing. I suppose everything I talk for you, I suppose to quote all of them. I got it from channels news, the valid source. No, I can't. I cannot. I'm getting my information from all over. Come on now. Exactly, they do. Now their agenda be that. Thank you very much, Nelly. David, only David, everything. Small boy, how old that boy be? How old? See the load when only they carry for head. How old? How old? Nonsense ego. You see person when they give you direct information, you want to dey follow and they argue. I tire for Nigerian journalists too. And to sit down there, they eat amala and gbegiri. Exactly. Thank you very much, Kenny. This woman has been talking. You know, when I start to listen to Dr. Arikana, not be today. This woman start to. You don't say all this France thing, whatever. She blow the cover. When she figure out how they take the role, she blow. By the time she show up for Roland Martin show, when they interview her, she couldn't talk because at that time they don't already tell her, advise her to step down because of what she do to France. She couldn't really talk, so she was quiet. They told her to step down. Now she even has more power that she has stepped down. And I appreciate that. Somebody was asking her the other day she was going to run for political office. She said no, that's not what she wants. She wants to be chairman of AU or something. That is the kind of person I want to be, a chairman of AU or ECOWAS. That's one. Because she has the interest of the entire Africa at heart. We need 10 more like that. Exactly. She's the only one. And she said she blew the cover completely, exposed everything. You know not say Nigeria they collect Nigeria, France want from back take colonize Nigeria. None of us know that one. They're from back. When you see this fraternization when Agbado they get them, they run small thing, they run go France. This is part of the deal. Now from back France one thing, and I make they sponsor. Let me they know they talk to all these terrorists. Let me say all these northerners they go come, they tell you, they say forgiveness or the tell because they don't pay them. France don't pay them not to talk. So they buy people so that they go from backyard enter to colonize from the north. These people, this woman said it all. They are very cunning. Their sense be like rat. Wetin they know, wetin Niger they save two people. If they save themselves and Nigeria at the same time, if una no know more na know na for free. Niger is even protecting us. Now our protector, we don't know now. Because now that link when for allow them to from back door enter, Niger don't put leg. Abeg, I'm telling you, back Mama Africa. Do you want to talk saying her name now? Because I was wondering why is he calling her Mama Africa? Her name is Dr. Arikana. Why not address her as Dr. Arikana? Which one be Mama Africa? Did she say she was Mama Africa? Well, she has earned that name, if you ask me. I'm not tired for Nigerian journalists. They are very annoying.
I think our eyes are towards September 6th. There are several things, as I said, that gives me a little bit of reassurance that something good might as well come out of this journey so far, because the man who God has given, favor in the sight of Nigerians has a bigger force that is propelling him since his beginning from his political journey in that country called Nigeria. So that is my reassurance. But in terms of trusting the judicial system and the present political leaders, I do not. And we are waiting for the 6th to know how and where the fire will start from.
You're right about that. I personally believe that the universe is behind Nigeria on this one, to be honest with you. On that September 6th, now we go determine our fate. And the ball is now in our court. As soon as they make that announcement, if they by mistake make the announcement when it not be for the benefit of the people, it's on site, as they say in America. It's going to be on site. Everybody like, should be ready. It's going to be on site. There's no need. Let's not pretend. Say, oh, be careful what you say. There's nothing to be careful about anymore. You don't reach ground, finish. E don reach ground finish, because these people they think say that they roll mad. They think say na dem sabi roll mad. The people, they have driven people to the point where they don't even care anymore. They've given up completely on life. So what's the point? Somebody on Twitter was saying that the other day, somebody reached out to them and was saying that they had already bought a pill they go take when they'll take by themselves because there's no hope for them. Now he come beg the guy, tell am say abeg chill, never do am, just wait. If it means small, once they give announcement, since you are feeling that way, if you are still feeling that way, please come and stay in front so that if anything, so that you know, so you go away gloriously. Can you imagine people are having that conversation now? Can you imagine that? All the institutions in Nigeria, zero, all of them failures. If you are a lawyer, please go and hide your. If you are a Nigerian lawyer, please don't be saying it out that you are in. Please don't not talk am, maybe people hear. Not they talk am again. That career, e don be dustbin. Sorry, dustbin. Zero respect. It's the fact that Abati was saying we don't know if France has any. I know, like, who are you? Who are you siding? Who are you talking for? We don't know if France has sand in it. Where are you? Where's your eye and your ear? Where una dey? Una no dey see wetin dey happen. Una no dey read. Una no dey watch documentaries. I don't understand. Exactly. She got him all the way together. I love that. That interview sweets my belly. She even though maybe I didn't see any disrespect from Rufai, but I like how she put him together. You go and read your books, not for AC with tight coats and tie, like ewu for inside the studio. Go and read your book. Wear Ankara and be reading your book. All this nonsense tie and coat when they wear, they need to throw away everything. They wear their native clothes. Big. It's research on her, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I guarantee you, these people don't really know this woman's work. They don't know the extent of her work. I beg. They're amateurs. That's true. Femi, welcome. Oh, good to have you. Happy Labor Day. They're afraid of being fined by the Nigerian Broadcasting Authority. Why are they journalists? They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be working. You see, on this thing of being afraid, I don't buy it anymore. People make choices. If you know that you're not going to have the freedom to speak, then just like everybody else, start your own thing. You don't have to be working for any corporation. What was it? Is it Diola? Diola was sharing her story of how she went back home. I think she was trying to work in the news organization in Nigeria. She went and she saw the equipment they work with, very outdated and all of that. And, there are things that she couldn't say and all of that. Guess what? The girl refused to work. She started, when Diola started her YouTube, now so it did go and grow and grow and grow. And look at her. She says whatever she wants to say. Nobody's holding her tongue. That girl has been upcoming for a while, been doing her own thing, her own way. You not be by force. You dey fear make dem not find you. Why are you working for it then? Whose purpose are you serving? Whose purpose? Begging. All of them go sit down, including the shame. All of them the same. I'm not optimistic about the results myself. I have zero. I don't, my dear sister, Nelly. I'm not even, I don't care. Whatever they come out with, me, I already know which way it's going to go. So I'm not even bothered. Because look at them now, all running out of the country. Agbado is going to India. My own is, he should not come back. They should make sure that man doesn't come back from India. Make him plane hang for air. Make he go be refugee for India. Okay? And then the other one, they call her Odili. That one will be like this thing. You don't run go London after you don't talk that rubbish talk when you want to talk. Okay? All of them they run with their families because they don't want to be caught in the heat of it all. Can you imagine? It's crazy. September 6th, they will. What do you mean by that? Punt the judgment to Supreme Court. Kenny, I don't understand that one. Femi says, if you think the tribunal judgment will be against, think again. What Tinubu cannot corrupt. Oh, of course, I'm not thinking. I know it's going to be for Amoda. There's that one. They don't already buy them. They don't put them for pocket. I'm not expecting. If they do, if they can't give a, let's say they say, oh, you don't know, okay, they give the right judgment, that's what they ought to have done anyway. No thanks to them. You understand? So I'm not expecting it. My own is let the heat begin on September 6th. I don't care about their, because I know that the judgment is going to be for Amoda. You don't know who Amoda is? Yekini Amoda. Hey, you don't know? Nelly. Nelly Amoda is Agbado now. You don't know. Now your other name be that too. Na be name o Yekini Amoda, abi Amoda Ogulere. No business they call her. Na him. Nelly say the Hindu deities. Honestly, their deities they reach like 5 million for that side. May one of them. I'm telling you, may one of them just trap them somehow. It go good though to help us out. Oh my god. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, there has to be a revolution. Absolutely. That one is certain. That's September 6th. Man, I don't know how many of you are on Twitter. The heat, the fire is on Twitter. Oh. Forget. People are planning. I'm so looking forward to the 6th of September. And no work for me that day. Na public holiday for me. I don't declare a public holiday for myself. People they are mad. The spaces when I joined today, from morning, my ear full. I say, wow. And on Twitter space, they can say it as it is. They've even morphed out of Twitter because they said they don't want so many things that they're planning. They don't want it out there. So they've morphed out. So you can only be invited if you have been recognized as a well-meaning, obedient person for a long time and all of that. There's a lot of what's it called, checks that they put in place. So not anybody, you can't just join just because you're obedient. Yeah. So they've really, really like beefed up. So there's a lot going on. So that's kind of where I kind of feel happy about that. But I want to see it play out on the 6th. That's what I'm looking forward to. What pressure? In Eunice, what do you mean? The pressure seems to have. The pressure has not. Which pressure? First of all, maybe not be the same pressure when I did think. Pressure seems to have that. No, pressure never. For Nigeria, if not Nigeria own, it has not. It has heightened. And nobody, no, people are even, it's more even heightened because of the economic challenges. Because people are frustrated now and are tired, literally. People are writing their wills as we speak, saying that September 6th is a date with destiny. So, if it is Nigeria you're talking about, no, the pressure has not died down. It's on fire. That's what's happening. So, let me see. Gary, there's not even Nigerian deities, but you don't reach that part. My sister. Yes, now. Yeah, Nelly, you don't know. My name be that too. Amoda Ogulere. It's his real name before he was adopted. That's what we found out. Remember when we were trying to figure out who he was? There was a lot of information. I think it was a David that unearthed that name. So yeah, that's how we knew that his name was Amada Ogulere. Yeah, Yakini. I think it's Amoda. Femi, correct me. I think it's Amoda Ogulere. That's what it is. Maybe Yakini Amoda Ogulere, something like that. I said, what kind of one chance? Real one chance. So, you want to join? May I share my link now? Or is it this thing that you say you want to join, the group that they are forming? And if you want to, are you on Twitter? If you're on Twitter, I'll just repost it on my own page so you can see it. And maybe send your own and see if they will accept you. Yeah, I don't send, but they never, because they have a lot of requests. Yeah, his real name is so. Yekini Amoda. Thank you, Gravitas. Yes, Yekini Amoda Ogulere. Amoda now became Ahmed. Get it? They are too docile, right? They are on the same side with him now. That's why they are on the same side. You know, a kingdom divided. You know, so they're not they divided. They do evil. They know they divide. They stand united. Eh? Femi says, I'm sure. Who knows? Is she not the same thing? Is it not the same thing that they are, Femi? They are the same one and the same. You know, say na the same eye they get. You know, say as two of their eye be. E resemble now. In wife and the man wife, mother eye and in wife eye na the same thing. You know, they look them. I beg you, woman go know to a certain extent. Okay. You know, say where Ogun and Amadioha and Ogun don go sleep. Ogun wey be say dey collect some, dem don Ogun dey dis thing na, e dey gallery for west. Ogun and Amadioha they were stolen. So they are not activated. We have to get it back before it can be activated. Oh my god, this is so funny. Yeah, okay, the Twitter, yeah. So you have to send, if you're on Twitter, you can send me, do you have my email? Or you can find me now. Find me on Twitter. It's the same name. And just send me a private chat, then I go send you the link to join, to send your requests. You know, they're still accepting people. They say they have tons of requests. So they're still going through the backlog. And I think you know General Oluchi now on Twitter. She's the one that sent it. In fact, you don't even, you can join follow General Oluchi. She's the one that sent the invite. Yeah, find me on Twitter as well, and then you can send me a DM on Twitter, and then I'll share with you. So she was sharing that, and then on her page, General Oluchi, you send your username to that particular app that they're using, so that she can confirm it is you or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that they don't max up, because I really want to know and I want to be involved in what they are doing, you know. So I'm hoping. But I like that they have things in place to check who the real ones are, you know. Yeah, yeah, my people. So we are wait. The D-Day is here. After the 6th, I go know whether I go continue to dey bring Nigeria matter come here, or whether I go give am permanent burial, because since February, abi since no be since February, yeah, no, before February, wetin I dey talk, since last year now I start to it's over a year now when I don dey do this. I wan know whether make I switch my con ten t to Burkina Faso, leave that thing. Abeg, I want to be associated with the champion. Shoot. People wey sabi, or Niger, cause I like wetin dey happen for Niger. See as all their people come out go dey protest for their UN people. Dey tell dem say make dem comot without fear, dey march. Abeg, na those kind things I dey like o. Una I dey like action, not just one we dey do so. Na those kind things na I dey look forward to. If Nigeria gas to take, I fit be any African right now. Anywhere I like I choose. Na Niger, I go contribute to the economy for there. Or go this thing, wetin you call am, Burkina Faso, Aminata. Thank you, Nelly, for that name. Suffer dey sell my market dey go. It concern me. They are not playing around. Seriously. I mean, all the spaces I was on today, my goodness, I was like, wow, Nigerians are ready. Never did I think, I never ever thought it would get to this. All this time I'll be like, all this one, I talk. Even me, I got tired. I'll go, they shout, I'll say, I beg, we too, they talk, right? But after hearing and listening to all the spaces that I was on today, I was like, I'm encouraged. This is beautiful. I really am looking forward to that day, the 6th. I want to see what happens. Between the 5th and the 6th, I want to see what happens. I don't know, I'm not sure if I go fit sleep. because my anxiety, I'm just anxious about it. That country must be fixed. Yay. Exactly. I like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the group. So this one, they have a lot of violence, as in people that are for action. So I want to be, yeah, anytime I feel this now money I feel contribute for ground movement, for what do they call them, strategy, and for what do they call them, movement and all of that. Whatever I can do, I would definitely yeah, I want at least may I feel contribute to them directly. That's the reason why I even want to be part of it, you know. Nelly, you dey laugh, na true o. Aminata o, here I come. Burkina Faso, make way, abeg. Na suffering come, suffering get farm for back dey plant my crops, get open one shade for there dey sell market, open restaurant join, start to dey cook dey sell, dey feed people life, dey feed dem so dat dem go fit strong well well. Abeg I no fit shout o, shoo, dey make my money sitting under the mango tree. To say abeg Nigerians dem never ready, na so o. I can't give you hint o. You wan put me for trouble? Yell. I cannot give you hints. I can't. There's a lot I can't say here o. You know say na YouTube we dey. You got to be on Twitter and find all this information, you know. It will be pointless now. If you know how many people are listening, they might not be typing or saying anything, but people are listening. You'll be amazed that people go through all the obedience spaces to go and listen in on what is happening and what they're planning. Do you know that? Much of the information that we say, much of the things we say here, they take it back and go and make amends and do something about it. Look at, you remember when they threw out September 16 as the date. Look at the pressure. We kept shouting, hey, this one, that one, no way. 16th, fire, thunder, fire 16th. Look at what happened. They changed it. This is the power of the people. If we can keep this momentum going as Nigerians, I guarantee you our nation will forever be changed. Not just in talking, in action as well. Let the talking translate to action. Forget, Omo. Nobody go fit dey do anyhow again. If they vote you in, you go produce whatever it is when they say make you do. No more getting away with rubbish. Yeah, that's what we have been waiting for, gravitas. You're right about that. That's what people have been saying, and that's why I hadn't given up. I was like, I need to keep talking. We need to keep sharing because Nigeria matter full my head everywhere, right? So I said, okay, well, let's just keep talking. The judgment. When they were now dragging about the date, I was so pissed. I'm like, I just want to know what day it is. So when eventually I'm like, fantastic. That's what people were waiting on. That's really what people have been waiting on, you know. Judiciary can take the coward way out and shift it to the Supreme Court. Omo, there'll be no shifting. That shift not go happen. Oh, acha cha cha. I wait to. I read Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Hey, I did that in secondary school actually. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and then so long the letter. Maria Maba. Yeah, man. I love literature in my time. Oh. Yeah, thank you for understanding. Yeah, yeah. There's only so much I can't share because it will be pointless sharing it. These people, when they want to do their evil, they don't share it with us. We just wake up and they just tell us they don't want evil, and then we start to run up and down like headless chickens. So, but it's better for them to be surprised on that day. It's better. Exactly. I don't know who this. I think I heard about him. Yeah, he was You know, there was one that was always coming to Niger Watch. I don't know if you guys remember him. For those of you who follow Niger Watch, I remember there was a guy. What's his name? Fake Emeka. The guy was calling himself Emeka. Fake Emeka. That guy. They follow that guy Dragon that time. That guy. They annoyed the hell out of me. Hey, if you say I did grab, maybe for they throw punches, I don't know. The guy they aggravate my soul. Since wetin happen now, they see the guy again. You know fit show because we go rip am to pieces. Eh? All of them were coming with different names. They lie, they claim tribe may not be their own. I'm really hoping the judiciary stands for once and not make a mockery. My sister, sorry to burst your bubble. They've already made a mockery and they will make a mockery on that day. I'm not expecting anything from them. I'm expecting action on the 6th from Nigerians, not from the judiciary. Judiciary, anybody that is a lawyer in Nigeria should go and throw away. They should go and burn their gown and burn their wig, that their dirty wig that they wear. They should pack everything, dig a hole, put all of it and burn it to ashes. It's a shame to be a lawyer in Nigeria. If you're a lawyer, please don't say it. You're a lawyer. Just keep quiet. Don't say anything. Let people guess. I'm telling you, it's a shame they have destroyed that career. They have. Yeah, so long the letter. I loved it too. Also, African Child. Yep, I read African Child too. So many books. So that somebody read Lion and the Jewel. Ovora Menogbaisi. Although Ovora Menogbaisi, now that I think about it, there are so many things because that was the man that was exiled. That was the Oba that was exiled. Till today, we don't know what they did with that exiled Oba. Whether they kpai the man or whether they head, they will not say that they keep their heads, that they keep all their activities, they keep black people eye, nose, teeth. Not be recently they return Patrice Lumumba teeth. Eh? Now recently they return am now. We don't know till today. Edo people don't know wetin they do to Ovara Menogbaisi because he resisted them. He no wan make dem come in land. Now they come, they come forcefully take the man, comot, exile. Wow. Till today we don't know wetin they do to our Oba. Although they say some story go talk say, that he was sent on exile to somewhere. I can't remember now, and he died. My mom said that they nobody knows what they did with him. That's what my mom said. Till tomorrow, they don't know. You know? Wow, are you serious? I don't think I know this person, this Bosun. I may have heard him at some point because a lot of those Agbado people, they aggravate my spirit. I can't. I remember somebody called. There was one time somebody came on the show. One time came on this show, my live show. I was saying I should allow Agbado people to be talking. I was vehement. I was like, no, I can't. I can't even relate with them. I can't have. There's no way I talk to them without getting aggravated. I can't because I don't understand their warped way of thinking. It doesn't make any sense to them. And to think that most of them live outside of Nigeria, supposedly exposed and knowledgeable. Some of them are professors and, they are, industry men. I'm like, how? For crying out loud, how? I get it. You can cram and pass an exam and become, expert in it or whatever. But it's so difficult to talk to those people. And I think I said it to this person, and this was like, it still feels blah blah blah. Then I think fast forward, this guy came back and came to apologize for saying, he now said he's sorry that he asked me to listen to them. That I think he had a conversation with one of the Agbado people, and he found out how very aggravating it was. It will never happen again. I said, too, I'm glad you tested it and found out yourself. Because those people, you can't reason with them. I don't know where they are. It's almost like they donated their brain. Once the money touches them, or once that tribal bigotry hits them, right? They donate their common sense, donate their brain so that they can't think clearly again. Everything they are saying is like dumb and is it gets dumber and dumber as they talk. And then the fact that they even celebrate the evil and they look for ways to package this man is a strategy. That thing used to annoy me. Oh my God. But anyways, yeah. And then I remember, I think one of the ones that were carrying Agbado up and down. He's been here a few times. Now I'm one man in the corner. He now came on Nigeria Watch and said he wanted to talk, something like that. And then in the private chat, because people were attacking him, I was one of the people attacking him as he was talking. They were saying that when people let him talk, that he just wants to have some time. I think he came on late and he wanted to like go ahead. But like, no, if you go ahead, you will wait for a response. You can't just talk and then run away. No, 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 no. We're not going to allow it. And then he now posted in the private chat and was saying that Mr. Elvis should at least moderate so that his people don't talk over him. If he has a point, it's his own opinion, blah blah blah. And then that he thinks is low IQ for people to be talking. Now I respond to the bagger. I say you be low IQ. You now you be low IQ when they can't defend the indefensible. Wetin you want talk? Wetin you want tell us? The guy no, he run, no, he come up for there. I not send their papa. Eh? Weird bunch of, I'm telling you, I've never seen people like that. Eh? Yeah, exactly, like treasure. Very weird. All these palm colored people, almost they are weird. Though. I'm sorry if you have palm colored partner, not vest. They're weird. Not naughty personal. I know say some of them they when they're good, but they are few. They are very small. Sorry, not vex. If you have a palm colored partner, not vex, not take a personal. Maybe your own na exception, but most of them weird. They keep people teeth. Somebody for their ancestor keep a black person head, the skull. He keep the person, another one keep the eye. You know wetin they do that time? They go pull black people teeth comot for mouth, put am for their teeth. Na dem dey do that time. No, abeg. That one na topic for another day. He's the Minister of Communications. Who be Minister of Communications? Oh, he's the Minister of Communications? Really? Na him all of them na so London dey take dey go school where dem dey fit take buy their certificate because if dem don dem go there na go buy. You know say oyibo people like money. Dem collect their money give dem the certificate wetin concern dem. Dem come dey speak English like say na AC na dem dey under AC or AC dey directly under their head. When dem dey talk osh, I can't stand that accent. Make una no vex o. Dat accent e dey annoy me. E dey annoy me. Dem come dey talk people wey no know better dem think say oh e smart. Na lie lórí irọ́. No smart nothing. Na dat hoi na dem take dey carry people take dey deceive people. Na dem take dey deceive people. You go come dey look like say omo forget good look through the BS and all the phone wey dem dey talk. You go know say nothing dey inside their head. All na empty barrel. Nothing. Dem no know anything. Yeah. I'm telling you, the guy dey annoy me. When he dey talk, I go just dey boil gravitas. I go dey vex. This Nigeria election, my emotions all over the place. I go dey boil. I go say, these people, do they lis ten to themselves when they talk? What kind of human beings are this? E go be like say they flush their common sense down the toilet. Are you kidding me? You dey hear wetin you dey talk comot for mouth? You na person papa, you be person husband. Hey, God forbid. It can't be me. You come dey talk anyhow, senseless things for public. And you go get children. No. I'm sorry. You get where I dey draw line. You marry husband, you no fit talk to na that one na husband. You call am out. You are not going to go and disgrace me. Are you serious? No. Be saying it inside the house. Don't go outside. Nítorí wetin? No, it can't happen. But most of them, I don't know the kind women when they marry, they know they tell them. They'll come go make a complete asshole of themselves in the public space. Go and talk and yarn or papa. Hey, God forbid. And somebody will call that one daddy. Hey, Salobwala, oh, God forbid. Mbanu, I beg. No. Exactly, my sister. I don't want to use all my talk now, Nelly. I don't want to use all my talk. You know, so some people, if you touch them, they feel they sensitive about them. So I don't want to. I don't want to because all my own interactions with them, I can only speak about my own. I they notice the fetishizing right away, so I know they waste my time. You understand? I dey notice them. So sometimes I dey wonder, say how they take they because me they notice them. When they say fetishize, when they talk about you, they go dey wonder say how person take dey. I know they fit connect with them. I'm sorry. Somehow I know they fit connect. There's that. I don't know. There's a huge disconnect. I know they fit connect with them. You know, this na my own personal experience. So I don't talk to them. Of course, I don't get a few as friends. But that I don't know if na understand wetin I dey talk. You guys should take connect with person. You know, so okay, this person na correct. But most of them, I'm sorry, and e be like say dem just dey aloof about wetin dey happen about life. Dem dey very aloof, like dem no know much about life. Dem no understand some things. You go talk, you no dey make dem no dey understand, dem no fit relate. So that kind thing I no fit, and I'm too much. I too dey I'm too down to earth, you know, to be able to, you know, allow certain things just, you know, get past me. I can't, you know, I can't. I go talk am as I wan talk am, you know. Sometimes na I fit dey talk, I just break out into pidgin. You understand? And person no fit relate like that, na problem. You know, I go dey say, abeg, I wan take talk this thing, and I no fit dey explain everything. Headache. Again, like I said, oh, no diss to anyone. Oh, when I get partner, abeg, oh, I love you all the same. Oh, it's not personal. Me just dey talk my own. Na wetin I notice be that, you know, dem dey fetishize well well. So sometimes I dey wonder, you dey marry the person really really, you really know whether this person really love you for who you be, or just love you for your skin color, for the fact say it's popular now to be with black person. You know, all those things dey play for my head. I don't know, maybe I dey overthink. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying no. Who be that? I don't know who be. Oh, that guy wey dey speak, when him mouth go bend go one side for arise. It's true. Oh, you don't tell me see am. Oh, maybe they don't sack am. You understand? Maybe they don't. Who knows? When they bend one mouth go one side as they speak in English, right? Not be you dey talk about for arise news, Nelly. I think that's who you're talking about. I don't know where e go. Maybe you don't. You go dey bend one mouth go one side, go dey speak the English one kind. They say, I feel like what we're trying to say. I'm gonna say, do you have to? For my mind, I say you suppose bend the mouth like that when you talk. Because as me they talk now, they speak pidgin English, right? As I dey talk the thing, they roll off my tongue. I don't need to bend mouth, like my mouth straight. You understand? If I want to speak my language now, the same thing, my mouth straight. I don't need to bend and go one side. Even when I dey speak English, na so I dey speak the English. I no dey bend mouth go one side. You understand? So I no dey understand am, but again, it's just me. You understand? They talk like say they put hot yam for mouth, like the thing go burn them, or hot potatoes, e go burn them now. The thing go so burn. Na so they will be for my ear. Nelly say, me too, I can't relate with them. They're so out of touch. Nelly, oh, me and you dey this table. I think say for my head, I go dey maybe na me because I'm too Nigerian, as in I'm too pidgin, you know, speaking all the maybe na make. I don't know. Do you know somehow you just think say, I know they fit. They are so out of touch. Like I cannot connect. There's no connect. No matter, I know they fit. Even on friendship level, I know they fit. It's so superficial. I know they fit connect because they no understand. I no understand why human being no go understand. The basic things they no even understand. And the way they take they see life, I don't know, the way they take they see life, eh? I don't know how to explain am, but Nelly, be like say you understand. Eh? Exactly. I no fit code switch every I no fit. Even when I dey work, when we dey meeting like this, eh? Sometimes when they don talk the English talk, I dey present. Let's say na me dey I dey present that day, I dey do meeting, I dey present. Omo, I dey speak the English plainly. They know me. They know. I like direct. Yes, I go talk am like as e be. I no fit all this code switching whatever. I fit dey do because I don tey for here. When I dey talk, sometimes e fit come out every now and again, but omo, forget that thing. I no fit. I'm just so I no dey fit relate with them. I no dey fit connect. So I just dey my own jejely. I can't shout. I know most of them when I don meet when be men, they go show interest. Their interest is very superficial. They pass the superficial level. You understand? I'm like, are you dey who dey do all those kind things? Wey be say not be whether how you take fine, every person dey look. Wetin concern me concern whether you fine. Make your mama tell you say you fine. Wetin concern me? You understand? Or they tell you say, oh, see your skin, this one, or they I no fit. I dey run. I no dey fit o. I no dey get the patience. I go talk to you, yes, maybe I go if and I dey hardly eat out. So most of them na so restaurant they dey like to do. They go one expensive restaurant, they want to take you abeg, 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 abeg. Me, I no dey eat out. So e dey hard me to go out, go eat, because I be one of those people wey be say I dey think how they take cook this food. Who know whether the person wey dey serve am spit for the food before e bring am come for me? Maybe I don too watch Hell's Kitchen and other things. So e dey hard even before that Hell's Kitchen. Right from time growing up, my mom never supported the idea of eating out. We always cooked our meals. She did never liked it. She always buying food outside. So I grew up not knowing how to eat out. So it's difficult for me to eat out, to be honest. I rather cook my meals. I'm more, even if let's say I go outside now and I'm hungry, I not feel focused. You know what I do? I go enter store buy banana or something. I will now that doesn't mean I have eaten like burgers before. I don't do McDonald's, I don't do what's the other burger place? Johnny Rockers. I don't do Johnny Rockers. I don't do this other one again. I don't forget. It could be In and Out Burger. I don't do that one. I don't do Denny's. I don't do what's this pizza place when I come on where I don't forget the corner. No, not pizza. Italian food place. It's very common. There plenty all over. I don't do some of like on the way, like I don't do, but I like once in a while and maybe like years in between. I don't dey. It's not a habit. So when they won't carry you go out, they want take you go expensive restaurant where they'll give you 3 course meal. You first do this one, do that one. All those things. They give me headache. So rather, as okay, mo will go for a walk in the park. So as they go for walk, you get to hear and have conversation. You come dey talk to the person, maybe you just dey talk. You come dey hear how empty. You come dey wonder say wetin dey inside you, wetin you dey think for your soul. I no understand. Conversation wey e suppose to flow, e go hook. Then when they no get anything else to talk, they'll come dey talk about your body, how your body skin, your this black queen, one thing. The thing go dey annoy me. I say, come on, no even. And these are people that are supposed to be educated. Oh, sorry, not be ras educated, well put together. I can't relate. I don't know. I cannot relate. I no fit relate. Hey, I no fit relate oh. God go bless you, Nelly. You dey feel am. It's too tedious and painful. Hell, I don see person when e sabi oh. Nelly, God go bless you for wetin you talk. So you just took the words out of my mouth. It's tedious. E be like work. To sit down dey talk to them, e be like work. It's like a job. I'm telling you. It's very painful to connect with them. I don't know, I don't understand. We really different, I no lie. And I'm not saying that good ones not dey. Una not get me wrong o. For me believe say human being na human being, right? Good ones dey, but I'm sorry, in my own experience, so I no know as people take dey do am. Yeah, Burger King, I don waka that one. Like, I no remember the last time, years ago, maybe when hunger dey wire me, I no fit reach house, and there's no way of me getting home. Because even if I go to work, if I forget to, let's say, pack my lunch, eh, that means fasting for the rest of the day. Oh. That's how bad it is for me. Fasting, I no go eat outside, e dey hard me, right? So worst case scenario, where I dey work, they get cafeteria and they sell like fruits like bananas, apples, or they'll get this water when they put cucumbers and lime and stuff like that, lemon inside. I go carry down one, buy banana, maybe like buy a bunch of banana, of course more expensive. But the days when we get farmers market, because sometimes they get farmers market, right? I go the farmers market. When they come like that, I will just go buy their fruits. Now that one I go eat throughout the day until I reach house. That's how bad it is. Amichi's pizza. I don't eat Amichi's pizza before. Okay, gravitas. Yes, it's also rare for you to eat. I worry the person making exactly. Oh God, go bless gravitas. I go there for my head. I go dey think of maybe this person just come out of toilet now. You never get chance to wash. You go all carry the food. Who know? Maybe as they pack the food, if maybe na food when you get salad, you go use that same hand pack. I go dey think different. Oh my God. Eh? After COVID-19, that was it. It was over. Forget. I know they bother again. It was over. Hmm. Mm. Wendy's. I've never been to Wendy's, so that's one place I've never been to. I never chopped for Wendy's before. Never ever. Hmm. Igbo kpai the 24-year-old Nigerian girlfriend because she left him. I saw an Igbo guy give his girlfriend. Oh my God. Are you serious? God forbid. To Fiakwa. My goodness. E even get one story when I see for TikTok when e dey trend. Olive Garden, I don go Olive Garden. God bless you, Nelly. And not be me carry myself, but now one of my friends, she just came from Nigeria. She can't do shopping. So now she come say make we go. I can't say okay, she can't say I can't follow her. So I went to a retail mall, right? Far away from where I live. I can't follow her go. We spent hours there because that my friend, Lord have mercy. My God. Another thing, I hate shopping. I hate to shop. Oh my God. I do not. Now me they create online shopping for. I cannot. You see that one of going to mall, you go one store, you go look the price, you try the outfit, you not work out, you go another one. I cannot do it. I can't stand it. What I do, the times I used to go to the mall prior to online shopping, I go don already know wetin I wan go buy and which store I dey go. When I reach mall, I'm parking right next to the shop. I go pick wetin I wan pick, the direction of where I need to go. I go there, pick am, buy am. I no dey spend pass max 30 minutes for store. I don bounce. I no dey do all that. You go from mall to mall, mall to mall, check out the cheapest, come back. That my friend is an expert. That day, I tell her after that day, I say, lie, never in your life. If you want to go shopping, we go on your own. You go order Uber, not be me and you. I refuse to do this to myself. So that day, of course, I didn't have. So we had to stop at the Olive Garden and eat. Even the food sef, I come dey fear. When I reach house, I come go boil water, bring out lemon, squeeze lemon, put ginger inside, add turmeric. I drink the thing. I say abeg, whatever it is that I swallowed, I don't know, let it wash it out. Put this thing inside, add wetin dem dey call am. Oh my God, wetin dey call this thing again? Let me check. Added flaxseed. Add flaxseed to am, mix am, let am settle small, come drink the thing. Omo, clean everything up, cash out. There's a story I saw on TikTok, by the way, guys. This girl, she go out to, she come, one guy come dey talk to am, come ask am for her number. The girl refuse to give am im number. You know wetin the guy do? The guy carry stone, take am stone the girl for one side of her face. If you see the face swell, one side come swell. She ended up in the hospital. She was making the video when the incident happened, and while she was in the hospital, she was just crying like, what did she do wrong? Because she did not give the guy. The guy asked her, say, give me your number. The girl say no, he no dey give stranger a number or something like that. Now the guy carry stone. And there were men around, there were guys around. Nobody came to this girl's aid. They saw the guy pick up a stone. That thing broke my heart. I not even feel watch and finish. I could not. My heart could not take it. I was crying inside of me. I'm like, what the hell? Please, people should be careful out there. And if somebody ask you for their number, because I understand some people not do alright too. Honestly, some people not do alright. When they ask you out like that, if you're single or anything, you don't need to be rude or anything. If you give them number, if you give them, you fit give them your number, nothing wrong with it. When the person call you, you fit block am. Simple. I'm not saying that this girl she was not rude. The guy asked her for a number. She said no, that she doesn't give her number. Something like that. I don't know if any of you have seen that video. But it was heartbreaking. Chick-fil-A. I've tried Chick-fil-A twice. Yeah. I've tried Chick-fil-A, yeah. Twice. Chick-fil-A costs. I know, well, I don't know. Still cleaner than Mama Put, especially back in the day when they were watching the play. Let me tell you, for somebody that doesn't like to, when they like to eat out for here, and not to even for Nigeria, not to they eat out like that. Only on occasion. I know I used to go, I've been to Ghana High, and even the Mama is I'm very selective, but I've been to Ghana High. I know I've eaten Ghana High, and I've not eaten from an Amala place. I can't remember what it's called now in Lagos. I can't remember. But I've eaten from an Amala place before, but it's not a regular thing. Very, very rare. I used to always pack my food. I beg. Really, so they were both they were both sickening jokes. I know they test my cloth too. Yeah, I know. I can't stand shopping. I can't. The idea of driving, going to the mall, go and try this one, fit, try that one, fit. What I do is I know my size. I order my size, right? If it comes, maybe it's too small, maybe it's a smaller, sizes come differently. Sometimes you buy a size and it's smaller when you get it, or it's bigger, depending. So what I do is, if it's too small or something, for instance, I just go to the store, return it if I don't like it, or I ask them if they have another size that I can try in the store. All together, max 30 minutes amount. I know they do all that shopping. I want to shop this, shop that. Headache. Chibike say Walmart shopping. I just go in the evening, it's less crowded. I know the Walmart. I used to go to Walmart a lot because it was close to where I used to work one time. So it was easy for me to pick up a few groceries from Walmart. Or if I need some feminine items, I'll just go and pick it up. But when I now heard that they sell metal for there, iron metal, I stopped going. I just shut down unconsciously. I know if you go Walmart again since I don't know before. But since then, I just shut down. It's like, I beg, I'm not fit. I don't know when any of these palm color people go enter one day. The ones when their head not correct, they'll just say that they vest for the whole world. They'll come say that day they want to show up and not fit shout. Because it's happening on a regular now. If you're not hearing today for here, you hear for another place. I beg. You saw it, right, Chibike? That it broke my heart. I wept inside of me. Ah, I was like, what is going on? What is this life? Please, ladies, be careful out there. Some of these people are not all right too. If they ask you for your number, give them your number, Biko. Because some of them are that crazy. If you give them the number, they will dial and there instantly. You understand? So give them your number. I remember one time I was going on one of my hikes, right? I don't they see this person before. Sometimes we go even go be like say we even like come out at the same time. Early in the morning, they go hike and all that. So I don't see her numerous times, and every time we go say hi, hi like that. We don't even see for stores, like where if I want to go buy groceries, I don't jam them for stores and all that. So it was somebody had seen enough. The guy can't ask me for my number. One of those times when we go hiking, I can't say, yeah, sure, no problem. Seem like decent human being. I can't give her my number. Or more. I reach house. I think the next day send me message. I respond. Come send me message the following day. I respond. The third day, the guy send me Ebola. Hey, I weak. I shocked. First of all, I was like, "What the heck? Are you kidding me?" From nowhere, unprovoked. We never talk, as in conversation wise, nothing. Just hello, how are you? How's the day been? What do you have planned for the week? That kind of conversation. The next thing, boom, Bola picture. I nearly faint. I pass out. I say, what is going on? There plenty, my sister, no lie. There many. You have to be careful. Be careful, be watchful. If you get with your phone, put am for your bag. Abeg, be aware of your surroundings. Things dey happen. Be aware of your surroundings. Abeg. Let somebody know where you are at all times. Let somebody, if you dey travel, if you dey go somewhere, let somebody know. If you be friends, if you be just let somebody know. Abeg. If you're a single woman, no. Thank you, Annie. Bye. Have a great evening. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. There are very many. Yes, there are. You know. You know. Mm. You like Chick-fil-A? I know not only twice I don't chop that Chick-fil-A. I know they buy iron. No. After that day, I not go the store again. I'm like, I beg, I can't shout. Because you never know when these people go off. I can't shout oh. When you're in Lagos, right? Yeah. Kene, you're not serious. So maybe to say I know you that time, I for forward the gbola to you, make you check the size. Because I don't know. I was shocked. I was really shocked. I was like, wow. After that day, I changed my location of the hiking. I don't hike that direction again. I say, I know fit. These people, they're not normal. I changed my location sharp, sharp. I can't dey avoid to talk to people now. They hide me. If you say hi, I go say hello. I go wave, waka fast. I can't shout. Ah, you know. Mm. Wetin come make fence? I no understand. Black Panther, wetin you mean? I no understand. Ladies, just be careful out there, sha. That's all I can say. If they go market, anywhere you dey go, just be on the lookout. Don't, you can't always be too safe, but at least it's better than, not being, whatever. Because people they out here, they are not normal, oh. They're not normal, oh. Hmm. Are you serious? Some people were making irrelevant comments. Man, any man that made any comment that was negative towards that lady, that man is a devil himself. Because there's no justification for a man picking up a stone because a girl refused to give you her number and you smash her face like that. Ah, no, no. It's unforgivable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's crazy. How can you do that to? And there were men around. That's the shocking part of it. In Nigeria, if a man is harassing you, see men come out from different places. They will just come out. They'll say wetin dey happen, wetin dey follow you talk. You don't see people come out. They will protect you. It was so alarming. I was like, wow. I was not, when you not the expectant, when you not know the person, wetin I go dey take and do. I not faint. It wasn't like faint like that. I was just shocked, like no conversation, nothing, just like that. Is that how you just send pictures to people you don't know, naked pictures of yourself? Why? That shows how low the brain is of that person. Ha! God forbid. It's crazy. Oh. Honestly, I was alarmed. I was really shocked. I was really surprised because that hasn't been my experience. If I find myself in a bind or where maybe I've seen people come around and say, "Are you okay? Is everything okay with you?" So that hasn't been my. I'm like, what's going on? This is crazy. And there were men around. Nobody took that stone away from the man or protect the girl. Just like that case of that lady, I think she went to the store with her son, and the guy was like beating up the mom, and the guy went into the car and got an equipment and came out and and just shakabula the guy, right? That was going round at the time. And then I think the police arrested the woman, and they eventually released the guy. I think he was 14 years old or so. And there were guys around in the store where that was. Do you know what it is? When you see your own black sister being treated like that, as a black man, I expect you to at least protect her from it. I don't know. It's sad though. I'm not gonna lie. It's sad. I can't even watch it because they disturb my spirit. It's really sad. Ha. Me never experienced that kind. You gonna ever let me experience some Nigeria or here? I've always had help around, always, all the time. Like, are you okay? Is everything all right with you? In fact, there was a time I traveled recently, right? When I traveled, where I went, I think it was around 5 p.m. or so. So I went out, I was taking a walk around the area because I like to familiarize myself with the area anywhere I travel to. I went to a store like two blocks away. I was trying to get something. I think I was trying to get bottled water or something. I went there, and there was the owner of the store was outside of the store. So I was asking, I was like, and the store said liquors only or something like that. I'm like, you don't have, so you don't have any water that I can buy? And the guy was like, no ma'am, I'm really sorry, no, it's just liquors. And then he now said, what are you walking around here by yourself for? And then he said to me, he's like, please don't walk around by yourself, please, I want you to be safe, so do me a favor, just go, wherever you're staying, just go back, don't walk around. This area is not very friendly at certain times, so you don't want to be around here this time, okay? So I'm going to walk. If you don't mind, I'm just going to walk. I'm going to walk beside you, not too far away, just to make sure you're okay. I was blown away. This is a complete stranger. Right? When he told me that, guess what? I not come out. When I enter where they go, I say, see wetin I experience. So then they say, I'm a better person. I've always had that experience, right? And I expect the world to be like that, but I guess I'm naive. They're not called, oh, they watch that girl being stoned. Hey, God, I beg you. Can you imagine? They say it's her fault that she did not give the man her number, for crying out loud. Because he not give her a number. Personally, for me though, if a stranger asks me their number, I dey give them my number. I know they hesitate. I dey give you my number. When I give you my number, you call me. If na person when I don't want to deal with at all, I'm blocking you straight away. You won't have access to me. So I've never find myself in a situation whereby, because some people you give them, they're calling you right there on the spot, right? And you don't know where their mental state, you don't know what their mental state is. So you don't even want to get into unnecessary argument, talking with them and all that. No, you just immediately say, okay, you know, I give them and I'm like on the move, I'm not a wait. You call me, block straight away. You know, they didn't call the police. They watched the guy just pummel that girl with that big stone. Ah, Lord my jail, God forbid. Some were saying since women want to be independent so bad, then we should protect ourselves. Almost like a wow. Are you serious? Hey, can you imagine that? Imagine that. Hmm, God forbid. Yeah, the song was released. Yeah, that's true. I was very happy to see that because man, the boy had to do something. He's a boy, he's a man. You know, he's gonna be a man. You can't just watch. That's a good song right there. That's a wonderful song. Protecting mama. All the grown-up guys they around, they don't fit do anything. You just watch a woman being pummeled. I'm sorry, I have zero respect for any man who stands around, no matter wetin that woman do, because number one, now you get more strength than the woman. You must be able to restrain yourself, especially in public. When you see another woman that they pummel her, stop it from happening, from escalating. You fit get a few words for the woman, but stop it at that moment. How can you watch a woman get pummeled like that? You don't say anything. No. This one say na by force, so na so e carry stone. I no even fit watch the video finish because my I come dey hey, I say God abeg, where we dey go? Where are we going in this world? You know? It's crazy. That's about it though. You know? So my people, if I leave una here, we go leave am now. I don try, abi I never try. I have tried. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. Once again, happy Labor Day. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you guys had lots of barbecues and whatever it is that people do on Labor Day. And we await Gravitas. Thank you very much. You know now. Yeah, I try. Thank you. I appreciate them. Thank you for being here, my sister. I appreciate you. So we are wait now. Sixth don already reach now. Some people don't enter fifth already. So now one day now remain for some people. So we await the day of judgment. The sixth is the D-Day. We have a day with a date with destiny on September 6th. It will go down in history forever and ever. What Nigerians did for their country on the 6th of September. What they are going to write in history, it will be determined on the 6th of September. Labors of our heroes past. Thank you, Kenny. Na so they go count September 6th. They go say na the labor of our heroes past. E still join. September 6th, 2023, still join for heroes when they don pass. The work when they do, the fight when they fight. Wetin everybody do. How everybody take join mouth for the matter. How everybody take contribute. How everybody take join hand. And so they go take talk the history that day. So we await. On that note, my people, it's been real. Kene, thank you very much. Gravitas, I appreciate you. Yale, thank you so much. Black Panther, my brother, I appreciate you. Nelly, I thank you. Everybody, make I say that I fit count all the names first before I go. Misty, aka Eunice, thank you. Chibike, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Ehije, thank you. I appreciate you all as we await the judgment from this Femi. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much. Miss B, I appreciate you. Highly favored. Queen TAJO. Thank you. Mama Echo, it was really nice seeing you again. Oh. Thank you. Hopefully you can call into the panel one of these days when you have the time. Annie, thank you so much for coming. Motown, I appreciate you. Everyone, I appreciate. And Tacoma, aka Gingerbread Man, aka Ginger. Thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate all of you. Eh? I know, highly favored na sprinter. Always, never, always starts, never finishes. Kene, oh, yes, so that's true. Always, always. She's always first. But she might just be there listening, and maybe sleep go don't enter her eye. We don't know what time zone she's in. Because I know for some people it's like 10, for some people it's like early hours, in the morning. So, yeah. Yes, so see you in less than 48 hours. Thank you so much, guys. And please, don't forget to like on your way out. And thanks for all the shares. I keep seeing the shares. I appreciate it. You guys are really, um, you know, I'm not able to dey talk itself, and I don't really dey go am. So I appreciate that. All right, see you guys on my next one. Bye.